It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel like pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Talk Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stunt the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stunt the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 Loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome for another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. Yes, of course, it is really, really bad within the community right now for good reasons. We lost the game, another red card, not a good record, actually. I think we've broken the record already. But we're here to talk about it and free if you want to come onto the panel to express how you feel, at least to feel better when you do so. We're open to doing that with you. But I'm happy to say that already. And also, we will, before I say that, we'll also look at the comment from the managers, our new managers of Gaffa or Geffa, how'd you pronounce that? Uh, Comment from his presser. He said a lot of stuff. If one thing I'd say, he's a very, very good communicator. I hope he achieves a success on the pitch because, yeah, being a good communicator doesn't, you can say, save you your job or doesn't buy you doesn't buy you support. You have to win. But I believe he will do well for reasons I've explained. I've explained in previous shows. But that's why when we have the captain of the community on the panel in Constantine Dante. Big up to you, Dante. I do hope you're doing well. And thank you for finding the time to join the conversation. This particular morning for me, it's still 8:43 a.m. Dante, I do hope you're doing well.
Yeah, big up, coach. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, it's 1:43 a.m. for me, so morning as well, but one day ahead of you. That's
But more, earlier than usual, right?
yeah. It's
No,
nearly
no,
Friday.
earlier than mine. It's still morning for you, but early, very, very,
Yes.
yeah. Uh,
Yep.
all right, thank you for joining me on the panel. I'm gonna say hello to those of you in the chat. Um, Then we go news hunting because there are a lot of interesting stuff out there to talk about. Once we're done doing that, we'll come back to speaking about the game proper. And the first person in the house is my bro, Ibro Dawanaya Keke. He says, what really happened? Simple. The Wi-Fi Igbali was using to communicate with the players was McDonald's Wi-Fi. Some level as Dante's, right? All right. You're
League
one of
One,
the reasons why your
French
client,
league is sponsored
Nemaya.
by McDonald's, so maybe could be. Yeah.
Yeah. Nemaya, I'm gonna say this. The planned protest could yield results, but your likes, if you're busy screaming blue core out or whatever however you spelt it there, they're probably not gonna listen to you. I'm just happy this time that there are those who really what they want to do is express what they feel like the club isn't doing right. But your likes, the blue core out, which you know will not happen. We've been there before. You're just wasting your time and then making it seem like the planned protest is a joke. I'm not part of it and I don't want to be part of it. I'm just letting you know. Protests do happen. That's why we have democracy. But if you're going to be screaming blue call out, they are not going to listen to you. Be rest assured that will be the case. Let's see. You're the one that's finished. My club isn't finished. And there's something I said on X. We can actually win the Champions League this season. What Chelsea? How good were we in 2012 when we won it? We finished, I think, sixth in the league. Yeah. And then in 2021, we weren't that good actually. So I hope they you can say they underestimate Chelsea and they've been doing so at their own peril. That's my opinion anyway. But I hate it. Some call themselves Chelsea fans and they producing graphics of a tombstone of Chelsea Football Club. Say the club is finished. Then why are you still supporting the club? If it's finished, then move on from it. Go find another club and support if you feel like Chelsea is finished. And once you try to speak objectively about the situation, they start calling you brown envelope or say you support the owners. I'm not their biggest fan, but I can't sit here and stand because I want you to like me or because I want you to subscribe to the channel and start screaming blue co out for what? I will speak of what I feel like that they haven't done right, but right now I don't have anything to talk about. Let's see. Never. With Chelsea, tell him that. Tell him that, Ibro. Yeah, he says we are seventh, but we will get top four. It won't be easy, but it can be done. Good luck to Liam. I believe it can be done. But here's the thing: we're 2 points away from dropping to around, I think, 10th or 12th position. What position I can? I did check it. Also, 2 points. Also, yeah, 2 points gap from the fourth place team because we have higher goal, bigger goals total. I'm not sure how correctly to phrase that. I'm very tired, man. But my point is, it could go either way. But I still believe we can make top four. It's not going to be that easy. I get it. Someone on X told me, but it's just 2 points. That is it's still very possible. But here's the thing. Uh, not just top four alone. We still have the Champions League to play for, the FA Cup to play for. What's the other one? What's the difference? Is that the Caliber Cup? Which one is the FA Cup? Is the EFL Cup, right? We still have 3 trophies to play for. So it's not like the season like that's it. It's definitely a bad season, and we were actually doing well until December. But we're not here to talk about that. We'll definitely get into speaking about the game. But Ibro, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. We won't get top four. And glad Iqbali was called out. Does that change anything? It won't. That's not the right way to protest, in my opinion. Did he hear it? I believe he heard it. But as a billionaire, I think that probably wouldn't move him that much. If anything, you'd force him to stop attending games. And that's it. But that's, by the way. Let's move on. What else do we have here? We have Joseph saying, even with the man down, it was winnable. It was a winnable game until he sucked off Santos, who has legs, and kept Enzo, who's a Snell. Tactics after the red card messed up everything. Okay, we'll get into it in a bit and break it down. Let's see what else we have here. We lose against Brentford. I dare Charlton to knock us out. Okay, you think we will lose against Brentford? It's possible. You didn't think we were going to win the Club World Cup. You didn't think we were going to win the Conference League. I know you well enough to know every time we lose a single game, even when we weren't, you can say, in a bad form, as we're currently, as we're experiencing right now, you still come out and be screaming, "We're finished, we're finished, we're finished." That's your thing. Yeah. You say I support the owners. No, I don't hate them. If you say I support them, yes, I do support them. But that doesn't mean I'm their biggest fan. I support my club, which simply means I support the owners. So what point are you trying to make? So if you can actually unsubscribe if you want, because I'm tired of you all the time. You never say anything positive except if we win a game. You have every right to dislike them, but I don't have to dislike them because you dislike them. We don't run an echo chamber here. Here, everybody's opinion matters. I'm not their biggest fan, but if you want to run with, I support them because I try to speak objectively about the situation, go ahead, run with it. All right, let's see what else do you have here. Courtney, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have 27 people following the show and just 6 likes. I think we can do a lot better than that. So if you haven't, please take a second, drop a like on the stream, and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If you don't get top 4, our star players will leave. That is just your opinion. They have a contract that says if we get top 4, they get a pay rise or something to that effect. If we don't get it, they actually you can say partly. I think you should be accurate to blame them too. But in all honesty, there are multitude of reasons why we're seeing the dip in form that we're currently experiencing. I don't want to start finger pointing because that's not my thing. But that's, by the way. Let's see. Let's go news hunting as promised. I'm gonna switch to the presentation window the moment this opens. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 50 likes in total, 25 on YouTube. The rest are shared between X and Facebook, whether equally, I honestly do not know. All right, let's see. Give me a second here. Yeah, I honestly do not like the sporting directors for some reason, but the owners feel like they're doing a fantastic job. Can I change that? I can't. So, but my point is, I'm trying to educate people. I have nothing against them planning a protest. But if you're going to plan a protest and all you do is scream owners out or F you this, we don't want you, you don't like us, they're not going to listen to you. You're not creating, how should I say it? You're not creating an environment for dialogue. Because he would take dialogue. Like I said, who was that? I said in the group to somebody, the owners are more likely to pay attention to the survey that the supporters group did, or I can't quite remember who did it, that showed that the fans are dissatisfied. Irrespective of whether I feel like had they done it after the club World Cup, I would get a more positive, you could say, a more positive result. But that's where my point is they are more likely to pay attention to that survey than listen to you when all you do is scream blue call out, which isn't gonna happen. By the way, it is not. It is not gonna happen. At least not right now. So it's actually stupid to be doing the hashtag honest ad, blue call ad, or whoever, whatever however they choose to do it. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. So it's just screaming senselessly without getting your point across. I see, as I've mentioned before, I've seen the plans for the protest. The main plan is to show the owners, look, you're doing this. We feel like it's not working. Can you change? And I think they will listen if they stick to the plan. But once it's a mix of some, you could say knuckleheads screaming, Todd Bally out, Igbali out, or this time it's just blue coat for some, you could say reasons that I don't know. They're just blaming Igbali for the whole thing, whereas there's nothing that the club have done. You say in recent years or months that a Todd Bally didn't sign off on. So I'm not sure why they're getting the idea that Igbali is definitely the fault or the reason why the club is struggling. It just that, for me, it does come across as if somebody is sponsoring that. Or there's a reason why Bali is just hated. But yeah, person playing to raise his value, the owners want to flip players anyway. That's some nonsense. That shows you don't understand anything that's going on. Why not play Raheem Sterling to raise his value to sell him to get some fee? Why not play the C to sell him to get some money back? That's some of the stupidest argument I've ever heard. The owners want to play players to flip them. Then why Raheem Sterling? Why not play him? There are others too. Why not play Ben Chilwell before sending him out on loan? So can you use your head when you're trying to bring up such thing? And I'm going to say this: I'm not the biggest fan of the owners. I believe they've made a lot of mistakes, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean when I speak about them, you can say I start spewing nonsense like I'm an idiot. I don't operate like that. And nobody can get me to change to start speaking stupidly about the situation. Let's see what else we have here. Todd should just buy Igbali out. Enough is enough. It's not possible. So go get that over your head. It's not gonna happen. And they're not going anywhere. And I'm gonna try to tell you this for the last time. If you want to be part of the protest, okay, be part of it. But use your head. Don't just go screaming owners out, owners out. It's not going to get you any result. You're not creating an environment for a dialogue. So you're not going to get any result. It's really that simple. We've been there before. What did the last protest achieve? Nothing. Because it was more about getting the owners out when that isn't actually possible. So my point is use your head. If you want to achieve something, use your head. It's really that simple. Chimera, nice to see you, my brother. I hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. European football, build of chance. Unfortunately, that's how they communicate. Okay, let's see. There's nothing wrong with the hashtag. A lot is wrong with it. Maybe maybe on social media, that's fine. You can do it, knock yourself out with it, but it's not going to move a needle. But if you go to the protest and some are screaming blue coat out or holding banners that say blue coat out, we don't want you, leave our club, you're not going to achieve anything. You're not, and once again, you're not creating an environment for dialogue. It's not going to happen. That's just my opinion. Their frustration, even though nothing will happen, they are letting the owners know they're not happy. I'm not, listen, I'm not saying it's wrong, but the issue I have with people is when you try to speak about the situation objectively, they start calling you a brown envelope or calling you names, the Yanks, the other one said your countrymen are ruining the club and all that nonsense. But they have every right to do so. Can someone tell me why it doesn't play the yesterday? I don't know. I'm not McFarlane. I honestly don't know.
I can tell you, but we'll touch on that after.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm on the road, so if I can chat sooner rather than later, I'm scared I'll get cut off.
Okay. We need to talk about discipline as well. We'll talk about all those things. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned, and please keep dropping the likes on the video because the likes do go a long way. So, Bobby, let's hear you. Since you say on the road, you're on the road.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start from?
Yeah, big up, guys.
Big up to
At the
you too.
moment, the reception is surprising me. But
It's
yeah,
better than usual, right?
yeah. Well, let's see how long it lasts.
Uh-huh.
Look, Coach, we're in a situation, and I think that the away fans at City and at Fulham really handled it well. You know, they were very prudent. You know, this thing I say about Chelsea fans are really intelligent. The game going fans, they really are, because they maintain the support of the team, let the players hear the support of the team. And although they were attacking Egbali in particular in terms of their words, there's chanting of Roman Abramovich was an indication that, hey, look, it's time for the glory days to come back. Now, what am I saying here? What I'm saying is that clearly there's something wrong. You're right. Clear Lake out is not a realistic proposal. But Chelsea are not far off. Our achievements last season, and indeed the season before, showed an upward trajectory to the project. All people really want, if I had a placard I could raise up at the stadium today, I would say, Clear Lake, modify the process. They need to change the process. What we're suffering now is due to some of the ridiculous non-footballing decisions made in the summer. You look at the game against Fulham. I've been crying physicality for years. The ball is up in the air. There's only ever going to be one winner. It's them. The ball is on the ground on a 50-50. Unless Caicedo comes with a karate kick, he's not going to have the body strength to win the ball and nudge the player off the ball. The movement of the forward line was slow, labored such that we barely had shots on target. Shots at all, not to mention shots on target. Yes, we scored a goal, but we always looked as if we were going to succeed. What does that tell you? There's a bad chemistry somewhere in the team. Palmer looks like he's missing Nicholas Jackson. The forward play needs some other players to come in. I personally think at some point it may have been an error not to play Esteval at some point or the other. And I will say this, quite honestly, bringing on Gittins, really? You know, I know he's McFarlane isn't the main coach or anything, but Gittins is a disaster purchase, as is Garnacho. And what frustrates fans so much is for the level of investment these people have made into this club and into the playing staff. It's quite clear they want to win, but they're not going about it the right way. And sometimes one of the greatest things about Roman Abramovich was his ability, apart from the fact that he was a genuine Chelsea fan, eventually became more of a Chelsea fan than most Chelsea fans, but it was his ability to listen to the fans. Listen to the fans. The fans have been there, seen it, done it, worn the T-shirt, and paid for it. You think it's easy to go to these blooming away games out there in the cold, with work early tomorrow morning, just to scream and shout for your team? They give a lot of love to the team. Look at even guys like you with streams at 0 hours in the morning, all sorts of things. We're up here talking Chelsea. We care. We care. And when we say things like, look, your purchases
We've
are
said this
wrong.
before. However, anybody sees the situation, it's all coming from a place of love. The biggest issue I
Well,
have
not all.
is those.
Most of it
But
is.
let's say most. But the biggest issue I
There are
have is
those
those
that
that
just,
feel like it has to be their own way, or you're not a Chelsea fan.
yeah, I mean, that's another conversation, I suppose, maybe even for another time, because there are those that have snuck into this fan base and they're just here for the scandal. They're here for the mischief. They love all this and they love to fuel it. But that's by the by. The issue is they need to tailor a few things differently. Do you know what could really get fans a little bit of hope? If you can, and I know it's obviously very difficult to do now, make a purchase in the January transfer window, not for purchase sake, but a purchase that can move the needle. Marc Gui, bring him back. I know his wages are astronomical and it's not likely, but I'm talking of that sort of thing. Semenya, they just surrendered immediately. I know that's wage-based as well, but that sort of thing. That's the sort of thing that will make fans understand, okay, we're trying to move the needle, and they'll pipe down. But if you dig your heels in with this nonsense, wow, I'm concerned.
Go ahead, Bobby. Did we lose him? It looks like we did. Protests work, Coachella. The most fans can do is protest to demand change. I never said protests don't work. My argument is how you protest matters, and the time you protest also matters too. Do you understand what I'm saying? How you protest and the time for the protest matter both. And you've heard me at the start of the show. I talked about how if you go there and all you do is screaming Igbali out. Let me just stick with Igbali because these days nobody mentions Todd Bowley. Apparently, he has nothing to do with whatever happens at Chelsea, but that's okay. That's another debate for another day. Or if you go there, all you do is scream Igbali out, leave my club, you're nonsense, you're full of SHIT, name calling, and all that. What you're doing is you're battling his ego. And when you battle a man's ego, they will dig in and try and they will try to prove you wrong. They try to show you that they know what they're doing. You're not going to achieve anything by them calling him, telling him he's stupid after spending billions. I agree, we spend billions, but sometimes you guys do what I call convenient mathematics. How much did we make from player sales? Because we sold some of those players that we bought and they decided to change their, you can say, the model or their approach. My point is this. The way you protest matters. That's why democracy works, because people are allowed to voice dissent, to talk about things you don't want. So if you battle his ego by telling him he's stupid, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's not going to listen to you. You can create an environment for dialogue, like I've seen the planners are doing. The planners actually have good plans, even though I'm not for the protest. But look, they have every right to protest. It's a free world. The planners, they do have a good plan, because what they plan to do is tell the owners, you're doing this and we feel like it's not working. But there are some knuckleheads that would be part of it on that day that will carry placards, that will paint the owners as clowns, that will then call them, that will say, "Get out of my club," which could lead to them not wanting to even talk about it with anybody. So it's about using what Nigerians call your number six. I'm not saying you shouldn't protest. I'm just saying protest objectively, then you get something out of it. But if you protest senselessly, you're not going to get anything out of it, because you end up battling the ego of the owners, and yeah, you will feel content, feeling like you achieved something because you were part of the protest, and a lot of people turned up, but it might not move a needle. It might bother them a bit, but it might not move a needle because they cannot sell right now, even if they want to. I'm not sure how else to say this. The last time it was done, and it was done badly, in my opinion, did anything change? No, nothing changed. That's my point. And some people they started calling me brown envelopes because I tried to make sense of what they're arguing. And I'm not going to get into that right now until I hear someone talk about that. So I'm not against protests. I'm just saying protest objectively, in the way that it makes sense, create an environment for dialogue, then you get something out of it. Otherwise, you will just waste your energy and time, and we won't move a needle. Even if we move the needle, it won't be that much. If that's what you want to accept, accept. And let me say this quickly. I don't want to insult anybody, but once you talk about people being realistic or maybe doing things in a way that makes sense, they start talking about standards left, just throwing around the word. And for me, that screams projection. And chances are some of those screaming standards senselessly, when you tell them to elaborate, they just cannot. Chances are they still live in their parents' house, or don't have a job, or cannot keep a job, or you just haven't been able to achieve anything in life. But they will be going around throwing around standards on social media, because they just want to, you could say, be part of the movement senselessly. And once again, I will reiterate this. I will say this once again. I am not against a protest. I'm just saying protest in a manner that you get something out of it. Don't start a fight you cannot win. That's just my opinion. Let's see what else we have here. Vic says, I'm not concerned. That's him having a shot at me. I just know Liam Rosani is in for a rough ride. Do I think so? Yes, I agree. But I think he's smart enough to handle it. One thing I like the most is that he's an excellent communicator, and with that, you can actually do anything. I think he will do well, and that's my opinion. Yep. Let's see what else we have here. Forcing Blue Coat to sell isn't difficult. Hurt their public image and stop buying merchandise. I mean, if you can do that, give it a shot. Let's see if it works. So you don't fill their pockets while singing Blue Coat out and Roman Abramovich's Stamford Bridge. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Let's see how that works. Let's see. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. Was gassing. I'm still gassing about Gittins. What makes him a bad player? And how many minutes has he played? How many goals per minute does he have? Assist. How many assists per 90 minutes does he have? I think when we checked it last, he was one of the top the best in the Premier League. But of course, because we didn't sign certain players that certain people want, definitely Gittins is a bad player. Do I think he's you could say perfect? No, because he still does have a lot of developments to do. But I don't think he's a bad player, and he's still here, and I don't think he's going anywhere. I think eventually he will prove a lot of people wrong. But I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to yours. You don't have to agree with mine. I don't have to agree with yours too. But let's see. Palmer playing like Mudryk. Okay, that's an opinion there. Cucurella is an accomplice too. He's probably still thinking Chelsea will bounce back somehow without proof. Just wishful thinking. I don't operate like that. I told people at the start of the season that we're not in a title race. Why? Because yeah, I understand the project very well, and I know that where we are right now, we're ready to compete. We could end up winning the Champions League, but finish 10th. That's a possibility. That is sort of well, you could say it'd be accurate to say we're a cup team. We chances are we meet Real Madrid tomorrow, we beat them convincingly, but come back to the Premier League and play against Wolves and lose 4-0. And that is down to the fact that we you can say we're not quite there yet in terms of experience. Even though we've improved to some, you can say, a considerable measure. Actually, forget the fact that we're struggling. Forget the fact that we're six, is it sixth or eighth in the table, down to not just our recent form. There are games we lost that you could argue, had it not been for the ill discipline issue, that would be still be a second, or you could say we still be fourth or fifth, at least fifth in the table. So there are a multitude of factors that contribute to where we are in the table today. I'm not making excuses for anybody. We're in a very bad form. How many points are from 10 games? That's not good. But can we stop sounding as if, last season was very, very poor, and this we're following it with a poor, very, very bad season too. We're in a very bad form, and truthfully, we should be building on the success of last season. Are we doing that now? No. But why people speak as if it is the end of the world? Everybody was okay after the Club World Cup until we started struggling. That's something. For instance, in the case of what's his name, if you know, pick a side and stick with it. If you're sure you know what you're doing. Eunice, for instance, that he did tender an apology, public apology when we won Club World Cup and everything. Then he's back at it again. Bluco out. I'm not saying they're the best for us, but I'm just saying if you want to speak about the situation, speak objectively. And you see somebody saying, stupidly saying, they're just here to make profit. Make profit from where? I'm not sure how else to phrase that. I'm not their biggest fan either. But I've always known the immediate future. We're in for, you could say, my concern has always been about the immediate future. The long-term future, they have a good plan. The question is, will the fans be patient enough for we to get there? Well, actually, in all honesty, we're actually ahead of time, and that's my opinion. No, I'm quite sure majority of the fans didn't give us a chance to win the Conference League or the Club World Cup or even finish in the top 4 last season. And thank goodness we finished there, not because some certain teams faltered or so. We deserved to finish there. But I'm not a pastor. I'm not here to preach anybody. You're entitled to say that, that's the end of the club. That's your opinion, really. Let's say once you are not promoting violence in your chants or protests, do what you want. Yeah, I agree. Do what you want. But I'm just saying there's a right way to practice and the wrong way to practice. I see YouTubers, class players, when they play trash, keep the same energy. I agree. But if you're gonna go be at the protest, I think they should protest in a manner that they get something out of it. Otherwise, it would just be for nothing for a second time. Let's see what else do you have here. But that's, by the way, I've read quite a lot. I'll be highlighting your comments again. I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. But that's, by the way, we have Dante on the panel. Dante, anything you want to talk about before we get to news hunting?
Yeah, Coach, you had a lot to say there, so I'll just let you keep going. Look, I mean, fans need to realize the sooner they realize this, I mean, they keep saying, even at the game we saw, Bluco out, we want our Chelsea back. You're not getting your Chelsea back. No fans getting our Chelsea back. That's finished. It's not happening. Abramovich is not coming back to Chelsea, taking back. And those days are finished. It's a completely different now. It's not the same. That's just never going to happen. So I don't understand why everybody keeps saying we want our Chelsea back. It is not going to happen. You're not going to have that. That was an outlier that, we were very lucky to have, and we should celebrate it. But
And to
you're
be
not
clear, you cannot run this club the way Roman ran the club.
not these days. No,
You just
definitely not.
cannot,
No,
irrespective of how much you have. Go ahead.
exactly. So the sooner the fans realize that, and like you say, coach, look, there is no point. There is no point the way they protest, okay? Because it's painting, it's graffitiing, it's putting posters up with derogatory language and images. It's, if you remember the protest last year, throwing cash around and yelling that they're, really bad names, almost racist, basically as well. I mean, what do you think that is gonna? That's just embarrassing for the club, as embarrassing for Chelsea fans. That should be very embarrassing for Chelsea fans, and it was for a lot of fans. It was very embarrassing what that protest stood for and how they did it, because you are right. That's not the way to do it. If you really want to, you dialogue. Get like you said, the trust did that. That 4,000 people, but the problem with that one is they went to the fan base, that part that that the organizers of that unfortunately are not the best. So in my opinion, so I don't trust that too much, to be honest. But anyway, it is a much better way of doing it. Just do it on a larger scale and do it properly through communication and through the proper. The more you're doing this other way, the more they're going to turn a blind eye, and you're just going to make them more angry, and they're not going to give a shit about you. And they're
Damn,
not going to care. Nothing's going to happen.
you just
Look what
spoke
happened.
French.
A great example, Man United's owners. What happened to all those protesters they did? They had planes flying for the Liverpool ones. They had planes flying across this field. Man United, some of them got violent. Arsenal before, no, it never changed. No owners, nothing happened. It will not do anything if you smart and do it the right way, through the right means, in a more classy and more objective way, not graffitiing everything everywhere and putting posters out on every wall, painting them as clowns and calling derogatory names, and making it ugly, really, and calling them really bad
You
names.
don't want to battle their ego.
Exactly. These guys, like
That's
you
how
said,
I
they're
like to
billionaires.
tell people. You don't want to battle the ego. You're not going to get anything from it. Go ahead.
You're not getting anywhere doing that. They're billionaires. They have a very thick skin. They don't give a shit. Sorry to say that again. They don't care about that. Nothing's gonna help. And people want proof. Well, proof. Look, I gave you proof. Man United protest, Arsenal protest, Liverpool protest. What happened? Nothing happened. The owners are still there. All of them were still there. So it's not gonna do the way they want to do it. It's not gonna do nothing. And it's just a bad look for our supporters. It makes us look bad. Me as a Chelsea fan, I feel ashamed that they're doing it that way, because I don't understand how they don't know that's not going to work when there's so much proof
And
and
in
evidence.
a game where the players needed us.
And the support is the other thing,
So,
correct?
yeah, I'm not sure what time they did it. I haven't found, but probably as the game was still going on.
The game was still going on, and Liam Delap just scored then as well. And even after Liam Delap scored, they still did continue doing it. So
Listen, I know we blame the owners a lot. The fans can actually be the difference between us finishing top four or not. They will play a part.
yeah, but it's not gonna.
Go
If you're
ahead,
gonna,
Dante. Let me so that I'll catch up and bring on Jay. Let's hear from him.
yeah, I'll just finish up by saying it's not gonna help the players, the new manager. It's not going to help. It's not the end of the world. Like you said, yeah, okay, we're 2 points from 10th, but we're 3 points from third as well, fourth as well. So it's not the end of the world. We're still in 3 cups. We've got semi-finals coming up against Arsenal. We've got the FA Cup. We're still in the Champions League. and we most likely will qualify. I don't see us losing against Paphos. Even if we lose against Napoli, we still qualify basically. So we're still in that cup as well. So it's not that doom and gloom. Now, the problem I have is, yeah, like you said, spilling over to games, to players, to the new manager. I mean, come on, like you're really then you're advocating the downfall of the players, of the club, of everything. You're not supporting the club properly as you should, in my personal opinion. If
Actually,
they
some of
start
them are
doing that.
saying it. They want the club to lose games.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's which is
Some of them are
ridiculous.
saying it blatantly. They're not hiding it. They want the club to lose games.
Yeah, they want us
They
to
want they
fail
want
even
Liam
worse.
to fail. They
What
want
type of
Liam
fan are you?
Rosinho. They want the new manager to fail. They're already slating him. Which the way some of them are saying it, actually, you could sense that there's a sinister motive behind what they're saying, but they just can't. They just can't say it out loud.
Well, we know because it's Iqbal signing basically, and he was sat next to him, and that's all it had to happen. That's all. They already. It's written already, basically. So there is no support. I feel sorry for Liam Rosina, like I think Vic said there as well, because he's got a uphill battle to do that. But if anyone can do it, he can do it because he speaks very well. He is English. He is from London, and he's got because of that, he's got a lot of support even from some fans, because he's English and, like I said, his family and etc. So that's going to help him quite a bit. And he's a very good people's person. Even before the game, he went to the Chelsea side fans and started talking to all the fans before the game in the stadium to introduce himself to the
He's a
fans.
very smart guy.
He's a smart guy when
Yeah.
it comes to that, so that will help a lot. It's not like a Maresca where he's not going to do that. It's a bit different. So yeah, look, he that will help, but I mean, the fans don't do that at games. Do your protest. Don't do it at games for the players. It's football in the end. Support them. We scored. It was 1-1, and they still started chanting rubbish. How about do it after the game? Because you've still got after the game or something, but not during the game when the players are playing. That's really, really not smart, to be honest, in my opinion. And does not help the manager, all the players at all either, because they can hear it.
But once again, they are entitled to their opinions. They can
Yeah,
do
they
it
can
however
if
they
they
want.
want. I'm just saying
Yeah,
my opinion,
I
and I think
understand. I'm just saying.
it's
All
wrong.
I can
But
do is advice. But let me catch up here. Were you still speaking?
no, it's all good. Let's bring Jay on.
All right. Just let me catch up with a bit of what we have here. I think I've read this. He says that Igbali can sell if Todd has no confidence in his leadership and clearly sees no future in the investment, but he would take a lot for them to sell. That's one thing. And I don't think they will. And it's a slippery slope, really. What if he sells and this person comes in and it's worse?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Who do you guys want to sell to?
Yeah.
Abramovich is not coming back. Get that in your
Because the
heads. He's
one
not
thing you
coming
should
back.
pay
Who do you want to
attention
sell?
to the intent.
The Ricketts family, maybe the ones
Yeah.
that took over Man United.
Exactly. The intent is there. How about those people? I listen. I applaud those that are planning to tell them maybe we should do things this way and we'll be better off. That's actually sensible. Even though I disagree with the practice and all that, that's actually sensible. But if you saying what if he sells and we get a worse owner? These are owners that are actually shown that they have good intent. Maybe you feel like they haven't
Yes.
gone about it the right way. And that's a good argument to present.
Yeah, they haven't been perfect, but they show commitment. They go
They
to
show
games.
commitment, show they want to do well. I
You saw Igbali
appreciate
there. He
that.
comes to games. They go to games. They make appearances. They're invested. You see when we score, when we concede, how they react. He's a fan of Chelsea Football Club. He loves the club. You can tell already. I can tell. You can see he puts his energy into it, everything into it, and Bluco and at Strasbourg as well. So they're very invested into it. I don't know how people
So
don't see that.
thinking they're just gonna sell because you're screaming blue co out. You're in dreamland. You need to wake up. It's not gonna happen. At least not right now. Now let's see what else we have here. They can sell, my friend. You just have to boycott. I like the spelling of boycott there. Well, thank you for joining the conversation. Protest and sing regularly, and it will come a time when they get tired of this, and they will. So here's something I want you to know. Do you think all Chelsea fans want them gone? Do you think all Chelsea fans think they're failing? Maybe a lot,
Exactly. It's not
a lot,
everyone.
a large number of Chelsea fans do. But the question is, how many? Yeah, I think you need to find out that. And forget, I'm not sure how many times I'd say this. You have to protest sensibly, smartly. Don't just go waste your time and just feel like you've done something, and at the end of the day, you wasted your time. And one thing you should know is that they do have thick skins, all of them. They didn't become billionaire by, you can say, paying attention to, what's the language I'm looking for, sentiments. Yeah. Hey to you too, Mario Minto. Can there be a protest and a dialogue? Yeah. Protest is, you use protest to ask for something. Without dialogue, you're not going to get it. There'd be a dialogue. The honest might say, okay, let's talk. You want this, but here's the reason why it cannot happen now, or here's the reason why you have to be patient. We can't do it this January. We were planning to do it in summer so that we do it the right way. Dialogue, they can coexist. If they don't, then your practice, you're never going to get a chance to get what you want. There must be some measure of dialogue in one way or the other. Sometimes, for instance, when the Chelsea fans protested Super League, they were at the bridge. Petr Cech intervened. Would it be correct to say he intervened? But he did come out and spoke with the fans. That's dialogue. They listened to him. They did ask him a few questions, which he responded to. That's dialogue. Both can exist. It depends on the sort of the protest.
And that's where I say, Coach,
Yeah.
they weren't painting the owners, they weren't making them clowns and derogatory language and graffitiing and putting posters up everywhere, and you know what I mean. So there's a proper way of doing it. The way they've gone about it last time, and they're still going on about it, and everyone's spreading stuff. That is not the way to do it, because you're going to get nowhere, absolutely nowhere.
And by the way, Mario, nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. It's been like how long, really? Um, uh, may not, yeah, Blue Co may not be able to sell. It's not as simple as a lot of people think it is. Gittins is a terrible player. You have every right to see it that way. Gaslighting. How many times have you been wrong about a Chelsea coach? About Chelsea coaches? Which one have I been wrong about? And when I'm wrong, if the coach starts underperforming, I tell you, yeah, this coach isn't doing well. I supported Pochettino, and I did say he actually overperformed at Tottenham, in my opinion, which is true. Yeah, and when he started underperforming, I did a video saying, yeah, I don't think he's the right man for the job. I did the same for Potter. When Frank Lampard lost it, he started, you could say, I noticed that in certain games he looked lost. I spoke up. Yeah, when Maraska came in, a lot of people didn't give him a chance. I was one of those that said, yeah, I think he knows what he's doing. That he wouldn't have been part of Pep's staff if he didn't have anything to offer. Did he do well? He did well. Do I like how he left? No. I feel betrayed.
Be
In my
careful, Coach.
opinion. So I'm not
Vic
sure
has
where you're
all our
going. I told you
Coach.
guys Cucurella is a good player. Some of you
Exactly.
wanted him gone.
Be
But I
careful,
hate
Coach.
saying I. But you're forcing me to do that. It's only good.
I agree with you. You can put me into that category as well. But be careful, because Vic has us recorded. He has clips of videos of us saying otherwise.
I see, even when we're talking about Maresca, I think Ty, because you can see who clipped what.
Yep.
Ty clipped a video when we were saying that Maresca is going to do something to that effect. But I think he admitted he was wrong about the man. I like people who will raise their hands and say, you know what, I was wrong about this. So my point is, I hate saying I. I'm not that sort of person. I like being objective. And the fact that I like being objective is the reason why some people don't like me, because yeah, that's one of the reasons why one like I said, some people left our group panelist group actually, because we had about 6-7 people leave the group because yeah, we're not running an echo chamber. We're all not going, yeah, the owners are bad. Oh yeah, you know what? The owners are good. We don't operate like that. We like to put two and two together. Maybe you bring your opinion, present your opinion. If I have a counter opinion, I'll present it. And we keep an open mind. If I get things wrong, you correct me. I say thank you. I think you're correct. That's how we operate here. But one thing I would never do is start screaming, you can say, go on social media, start screaming, blue call out, because it's senseless. It's never going to happen. It's just people you can say they see the need to be part of the movement, to feel important. And I'm not I'm not their biggest fans. But that's by the way. Let's see what else we have here. Mario, thank you again for joining. He says, Coach, I think we have too many players who will eventually prove people wrong. That's part of the issue the fans are having. Yeah, I agree. We have too many players that will eventually, you can say, prove, you can say it could go either way. Gittins may well end up proving that he's a bad player, but so far, numbers show he's actually a good player. The ratio of the assists he has, I think 5 assists and 1 goal to the minutes he's played. That's good return. Yeah. And he's a kid. We just need to be patient with him. And that's my opinion. And saying he's a bad player, I think that's wrong. That's actually a lie, actually. The fact you're
Well, it's a bit like the
asking
lab
them
coach. These last
to
2-3
elaborate on
games,
what they
everybody
mean by standard
wrote him
schemes,
off.
brown envelopes. Let me tell you this. I know you're one of them, but because you're my bro, I'm not gonna say anything further to you. But I might decide to block you. I don't want to cuss the heck out of you. It's almost as if you support a different club. The standards is winning. It doesn't need elaboration. Here's the thing: it doesn't need elaboration, but the way people say it, even when we won Club World Cup, they say it's nothing. They downplayed it. But first it was that we're not going to be able to beat PSG. We beat them and beat them. You can say it wasn't even close. We mopped the stadium carpet with them, and then the argument turned to it was you could say a preseason trophy. I'm not sure how else to phrase this. Standards. The truth remains, some of those that are streaming standards still live with their parents you could say at a certain concerning age. And I'm going to say that again. And I have every right to, as
But
much as
coach,
they have every right
we
to
didn't beat
continue
the
streaming
English champions or the Spanish
standard,
champions.
because when you speak objectively, they start talking about standards. Wendy, thank you for reposting the stream. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. Jay, let's hear you. I think there's too many comments in the chat. As much as I like to interact with those people in the chat, I think it would take a lot to catch up. But let's hear you, Jay.
Yeah, big up, guys. Big up, Coach Dante.
Jay, big up.
Big up, people in the chat. Yeah, look, disappointing. After such a result, it's always disappointing to, come and talk about the game. And I think to some extent it is understandable because losing a man is already a big disadvantage, and most probably you are going to, not going to get the desired result out of that match when you lose a person. We did it against Arsenal. I think that was something really impressive, but we all can agree that this young squad does, pick and choose, or they can't really bring the same. Yeah, they can't really bring or put the same thing again, because if they did that, I think we would have in a much better position. But that's the problem that you get with inexperience and young squad. But I'm not really that fussed about the game, because I think losing the game was already a disadvantage, and I think they tried well. They got the goal again, and there is some inherited problem in this squad. or in the team, because we have seen this on multiple occasions that somehow we see good performance throughout the match in a few good patches, and then there is the other side where we completely lose the shape and the motivation, and that is why we can't really continue and bring a result out of the whole 90 minutes. And that is where again it costs us the whole 3 points. So yeah, overall a disappointing result. Let's see the new manager against Charlton game. I'm expecting some good result in that game, and maybe we can build on that result and then take on the mighty Premier League fixtures that we are going to
Mhm.
get, and even
I,
Arsenal in the semi-final.
I do have a question for you. And Chimera, I don't know why Mod why he's agreeing with you when you're bashing me. I think I'm gonna turn it off. Jay, the question I want to ask you is: it just me, or did the players just the same way we experienced against Manchester City? You say at the start of the game, some of them did come across to me as disinterested or maybe downcast. Maybe I think downcast would be the most accurate word to use. That did you sense anything like that, or maybe just me?
At the start of the match, no, not at all. I think we were very
Started
impressive,
very well,
and
exactly, yeah.
we were on to something really good. I think we were very close to getting the goal, and there were signs, and we were really gaining confidence with the match progressing. We had the possession under control, and we were building some nice patterns as well. I think it's the red card that is where the whole energy and the motivation and the whole plan that they built, I think that went south. Other than that, I think the start was really good. So I can't really say that from the very beginning the players were seen as disinterested. So no, they started really well.
Before I go back to Dante, what do you make of the goals we considered?
Um, really, again, I think you have to give the thoughts to the lack of one person on the pitch. It's always going to be a low block. You'll always be in a position where you have to defend a lot after your man goes down,
Mm.
one man goes down. So I think we were in that position, and most often than not, whenever you are trying to be, that much centered around a defensive third or in your defensive area, you are going to get some of the deflected goals, and they are going to have a number of attacks continuously. And it was really coming. You could sense that the goals were coming every time because they were having attacks after attacks and attack. And you can't really even blame the team for that because there is no manager, first of all, and uh, I think uh, uh, I think there's no planning. There's not much you can do after going down. So I can't really blame them a lot for that. That match was not where you really should ask the tactical and other stuff. So I think it's more on Cucurella. I'm really pissed about it. There is some discipline issue that I actually talked in the group as well. We are
Did you see
uh,
the video circulating? Some people were showing that the what's his name? Is it Wilson? What's the kid's name? Actually, was holding his shirt. Actually,
yeah. It was kind of mutual. They both were really doing the same, but it was
but
always
his
going
was
to, the advantage.
more obvious.
It was like, yeah, they both were involved in it. Even the Fulham player was doing some dirty thing as well, but it was always going to go against the defender. And because he was in a position of advantage, he was going in a position where there was a chance of goal. So it was always the decision was always going to be against Cucurella in that position, and that is why your mind needs to be there. As a defender, you should presume that the referee is going to give the decision to the player, even if he is doing, a little bit of work against him. So I think it was really bad decision or choice from Cucurella. I think these players needs to learn that yes, you can concede a goal, but with 11 players, there is a big chance that you can come back in the game and change the whole order. But when you do such a foul and you give them a man advantage, then the chances of you coming back, especially in their home ground, it's going to
Hmm.
be rare. So they needs to learn this quick, and it's disappointing to come from a player like Cucurella who's actually experienced. He's got some age in the Premier League as well. So it was more disappointing that it was actually Cucurella rather than any young guy.
Yeah, that's it. Before I come to you, I have a question here from Mario Minto, and I think you can chime in if you want to. He says, Coach, after winning the Club World Cup, did you expect or think would be in seventh place in the league this season? I don't think we can win the Premier League, but I wasn't expecting this kind of performance. You can say this kind of deep in form. I'm going to say this. We won the Club World Cup, and I don't think anybody can say they've heard me scream, "We're back!" Just like a lot of content creators, after one single win, they start screaming, "We're back!" I didn't see it like Vic in the chat has called it paper over cracks. I don't think it was that. It was a huge success, but I didn't think we'd be seventh, to be honest. And the season isn't over yet. We still have a chance to finish in the top four, but I don't think it's going to be easy because we have tough games lined up. I'm not experiencing. I've said this. People might be saying, "Why is he saying that?" I'm not. I haven't seen anything that I didn't expect to experience this season. Maybe a little more than I had expected. Why? Because I've always known that even though we won the Club World Cup and the UEFA Conference League, that we're not quite there. Overall, you could say we've made huge progress by winning the Club World Cup and the Conference League, and also finishing top four in the manner that we did. That yeah, we were more mature, we're more of a unit than we were. But the truth remains, we're just not quite there in terms of experience, which is why you can argue we play well against a very strong oppositions, but struggle to beat bottom table or mid table teams, which you could argue, yeah, down to what we call charity FC, aka you could say not taking games seriously because the opposition before the game aren't doing well, and the kids go into the game with the mindset, yeah, they haven't they haven't won a single game in nine attempts. That this is definitely going to be their 10th loss, which is a possibility. I'm not saying for certain that's the case. So once again, I'm not seeing anything that I didn't expect to happen. Maybe a little more than I had expected, and that's me. But that's if you want to add to that, you go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, look, well, the season's not finished yet, so that's not, we don't know that yet. There's still quite a number of games to go. So, um, did I expect us to be here now? Probably not. I probably, and look, we were on the right trajectory before what happened with Maresca in the end of October. We just beaten Barcelona, where we scraped a few results when we didn't play well, but we still we still won, and we still scraped some results and we did really well, and it was going in the right direction. But I think, yeah, that's what kind of stagnated a little bit. But I'm with Coach. I never thought I will win the Premier League this
Go ahead. I
season.
just want to take this call. Okay, it's
Yeah,
dropped.
go
Go
for it.
ahead.
I didn't think
No.
we're going to win the Premier League this season. I knew if we're going to have a little slip up, it will be similar to last year. And our slip up last year was even worse than it is now. So he went for more games, what I'm saying. So at the same period as well. So yeah, look, I think he had to do a lot with the manager as well, the circumstances. I think having players available at certain times, the new players integration didn't work out quite as well. There's a few factors, but I don't. I think we still will finish. That fourth, fifth position. We're still there, and we're in the cups, and we are good in cup games. We're very competitive, especially when we play against the better teams. So yeah, look, there's still. I'm still quite optimistic about the season. It's nowhere near over, and the disaster, like everyone says. We still got 3 cups we're in. We've got the Premier League. There's still quite a lot of games to go. So some of the players have started clicking a bit. We saw the lap starting to click now. This new system might start some players
I
clicking in
mean,
different
so
ways.
huge
Hato came
positives
on.
from the lab. 2 consecutive games has been excellent.
Yeah, so that's one. Hato come on, he looked good. He's done pretty well. We haven't seen him at all on the Maresca, so that's another positive, having another player there. There's some players, Andres Santos, looked good as he come on the last couple of games. So, we're getting Lavia back, Sugo back. Hopefully Palmer, had a pretty horrible game that first 60 minutes, and then 10 minutes, all of a sudden he woke up and then he had to go off. And no, I don't blame. I think he knew he's coming off a 70th minute, because that would have been the plan. So, to start playing good for 5-10 minutes, you're going to come off. You should have done that much earlier. So, but that was at least a little bit of a good sign. He looked a bit more sharper, a bit more, free, a bit more into the game. So we really need him to start going, because he's a key, he's a key position player. So I think, like I said, I'm still optimistic. I think there's still, and Rossini coming in, a new coach, a little bit system adjustment, a little bit of a fresh take. He speaks well, he communicates well.
I think the fans are gonna like his approach, because he's not into so much into the Maresca. You could say, would you say, what was the language I'm
Possession,
looking
yes.
for? Heavily possession based. He's high octane, quick transitions, quick
Yes.
exchanges. He's not. I think the fans, they've complained so much about passing the ball backwards, sideways. I think you could argue in this case more vertical passes than horizontal. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, the positional play as well, obviously. But
Mm.
yes, of course, that's what he likes to do it. But yeah, that you're opening yourself up, like we saw there. You can open yourself up when you do that as well. So there could be goals the other way as well. So you're going to put a bit more pressure on your defense, which Maresca was trying to take away that pressure from the defense. So he's got to balance it. But like I said, he's got a big job. But it's a new voice, a new thing. Some other players might pop up now and really enjoy this new approach, this new system. So the season is not over. I'm still very optimistic of the season. I think we're still pretty good. So, if we get knocked out at every cup and, we're still there, really in a really bad shape, of course. But now, I think we're still pretty good now.
Yeah, and Vic, is it not doable? It's doable. A lot of Chelsea fans didn't believe we were going to finish top four last season. Did we finish top four? We did. In style, really. I think we can. You cannot say it's not possible. And here's the thing, Vic, I get it. You're you're a realist, maybe. The truth remains, as long as it's mathematically possible, it's still possible. I don't know what else you want to hear from me. Big up to you too, Dante Bobby. Disappointed that Chelsea lost again. Another bad day at the office. Let's hope Rosinho changes these and gets us back to winning ways. I think he will do well. I'm going to stick with that. And I think it doesn't really matter how this season finishes. It has to be an awful, 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 you can say, run of games for the owners to decide, yeah, bye, Felicia. It was a mistake. But I think he will do well. He will surprise a lot of people. And one thing you should pay attention to, do I think, at first I was concerned. I would have loved him to stay, to remain at Strasbourg for 2 more seasons, to gain more experience. But if this makes you happy, he has more experience than Lampard had before we hired him. More experience. Lampard had no European experience as a manager before we hired him. What's his name? You could say in Maresca's case, he was Pep's assistant, and they won how many trophies last season, so he was part of it. So it wouldn't make sense to discount that. But you can argue, as the manager himself, proper, he has more experience than Maresca had before we hired him. If that makes you happy. So those are the things that I've looked at that gives me a certain measure of hope. But not the hope alone. Objectively, he's capable. He's proven that. He helped Strasbourg achieve European football after 1,000 years. Of course, the year. That's exaggeration, by the way. But for a while, for how many years? More than 20 years or 30 years? I can't quite remember the exact number. But it was for years. And he did it with one of the youngest squads in Europe. Squared up, uppercut for uppercut against what's his name, Luis Enrique's PSG. Beat them. I think he beat them one occasion. Could have
Yeah,
beaten
one
them
win, one
more
draw, one
than
loss. Yeah, yeah.
could have beaten them actually 3 times. But in those other games, one of the issues I have with him is that I've said that he doesn't know how to be pragmatic. But I think he's smart enough that he changed things around in the Premier League to play with a bit more balance, rather than you could say that transitional approach that can leave your team exposed. I think he changed things around. I don't think he's stupid enough to still try and play the same way in the Premier League. They will mop the stadium carpets with them. All right, let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes, yeah, go ahead. Knock yourself out if that makes you happy. But that's right, anyway. Courtney, I don't know if I said hello to you too. And if I haven't said hello to any of you in the chat, hello to you too. Nkem Utami. Nice to see you, Nkem. Thank you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the conversation. It's been a minute. I cannot see how anyone can defend this ownership. I'm not defending them. I'm just urging people, if you want to speak about them, speak sensibly, speak objectively. Otherwise, you'll be sounding like an idiot. Like saying they're just here to make profit. Make profit from where? They're here, they don't want to win, they just want to make money. Football is a result-driven business. Profit and results don't exist independently in football. They both have to fall in place for you to make profit. I don't know
And
how else to
just
explain
answer
that.
that, coach. Sorry. Yeah, I do defend them, and I will still defend them because I'm just holding them to their word, to what they said they're going to do. So
And they said
that
5 years, right? And we're in the fourth
yes,
year. And in the fourth year, actually, they've won 2 trophies alone. And because I
yes.
get it, majority of men are actually, you can say, don't want to say what comes to mind so that people don't get insulted. If we're counting the trophies they won, how many trophies have the women has the women's team won since they bought the club?
Yeah, because they
Let me
inherited
just
this
stick with
team.
4, at least 4.
Exactly. They would have done to the same thing to the women's team if that was the case. But no, the team was already very good, so they just added it and made it. Got the best coach, got 2 record signings for Chelsea, and well, the rest, yeah, we're doing very well. Obviously, the rest is history. So that should tell you quite a lot there. But for some reason, people are not looking there at all. At all, they're not looking there. So
It has to be
uh,
instant.
I
exactly.
mean,
So look.
to be
I am
fair,
going to
we
defend
really
them, and I will continue defending them till they show me wrong, till they go away from their word that they said they're going to do,
You do
and that
you.
is still a year and a half away, basically.
You do you. And just quickly, Jay, I know you wanted to say something. Who's that was timed out? I think Ishi 1738. If you're listening, please don't use all caps. Otherwise, the robot, not a human being, that's policing the chat, he will delete your message and time you out. So go ahead, Jay, with what you wanted to say. Sorry.
No, I just want to add, like, let's be honest, and to be really fair, we can't really put the same argument to the women's game. We all know that their team was already good. They have always been winning trophies, and you really can't apply the same logic because the women's game is not that big like the men's game. So there is
I'm just
no
saying,
big
if
reason
we're
for them
counting
to put the
trophies.
same structure there.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Well, they have been winning trophies regularly prior to them as well, so that is not an anomaly there. The men's team, however, have been struggling, and it's not something great that they have done. So I don't think that there was a great, scope of really doing massive changes in that women's team. The overall football game for women's is not that huge. I think they have been doing good, but we were doing good already there. So I don't think that we can put the same argument there.
We were doing good, but they took it to the next level, doing much better. They went and paid the most for a coach. Got the best coach in Europe. Went inside superstar players on on big contracts, record fees, and they want to take that to the next level. That shows you, yeah, we didn't have that at the men's side. We didn't have a good team. I think nearly all everyone wanted a rebuild. We needed a rebuild. We needed to start fresh and get a rebuild happening. Our team was not good. We didn't have that.
I
We were
mean,
not like the
the
women's
next
team.
the next level will be determined by trophies. We were winning the same trophies prior to them.
We're not arguing that, but the truth is they made it better.
They
That's
made
my
it better.
Yeah,
opinion.
and
Yeah.
We've achieved more records. Went
But
unbeaten.
actually, does it really make sense to try to, you could say, discount how they've helped the women's team or not count the trophies the women's team have won as their achievement? I don't think it's fair, really.
And they've broken
I think
records,
it's
Jay. It's not like that's what I said. They had to take it to another level. Next is winning the Champions League, which were very close, but we're still obviously there. They we went unbeaten last season, or whatever it was, broke all the records. They took it to the next level. Did they need to do that? No, they didn't need to do that. They didn't need to go sign and pay Bompasta the most amount of money in Europe. They didn't need to go get Lisa Thompson and what's the other Aussie and the other one and pay world record fees for them and give them high. They didn't need to do that because the team was already good. But that just shows you that they invested and they wanted to keep him there and even take him to the next level.
yeah. Look, I don't.
That should tell
All
you a
I'm
lot.
saying
I don't
is
know if you don't see it, if you guys don't see it or understand it, but that should tell you a
no,
lot.
no. No, all I'm saying is you guys are actually arguing that why we are not really discussing or talking, why these fans don't talk about the women's team. That quantity, the amount, the viewership of that stuff with being fully respectful to the women's game, it's not there, right? Right? So it's that is why the people are not talking about it because
It's
it
pretty
doesn't
big.
really matter to the
It's
same
pretty
level to
big.
the men's
Not
when
that
we are
small,
comparing
buddy. It's
to.
pretty big actually, especially here in Australia and this country. It's massive. It's huge. It's very big.
Well,
So
if we were like winless, we haven't really won anything in that game, and then they came and did something, remarkable, then people would be talking. But because we were doing the same stuff prior to that,
I
I
think
don't
even
think
at
it
that,
they're
required.
not talking, Jay, because it's Clear Lake. That's why they're not talking. They don't want to give
not
him
even
credit,
that.
buddy.
The truth
Simple.
remains, even at that, I don't want to start say I say something that some people will, you can say, will not take it lightly and feel like I'm insulting them. I think it's a world we live in. The women's football, and you can say, unfortunately, um, I don't
Well,
think,
coach, you can say it's never going to
especially
be big as the men's game. We know that,
they
but
don't
it is.
value. Yeah, they don't value them as much. Arsenal women's team, didn't they win the Champions League?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
got to
how
be
many
lucky when they won the
they did,
Champions League.
right?
Yes, they did
Okay,
last
how
season.
many
Yeah.
times do you hear them bringing it up on the timeline? Even when they have, I think they have the right to say, if you say we haven't
They
won,
do
we won
actually.
one. But how
they,
many times
But
did they
that is,
bring? Do they
but
bring
they
it
that
do
is
up?
the
actually.
It's
They
Arsenal.
the
do quite a
world we
lot.
But that
live in.
is,
It's the
but that
world
is
we
the
live in.
Arsenal.
It's really as simple as that.
But that is the Arsenal fan base. That is a separate breed. We all know that they are aliens. We
No, no,
can't really,
but you
give.
get where I'm coming from. I understand your argument in terms
I
of
can
from,
understand.
you
Yeah,
can say,
I
from
can
a
understand.
banter perspective, you're correct. But what I'm saying, the world we live in, I think they probably don't value it that much.
Depends where you are. That's what
Yeah,
I'm trying to say,
exactly. And
coach.
they hardly ever bring it up. But it counts.
It counts. Of course, it counts. It counts that they showed that they wanted to take it to the next level, even better than it was. They did not need to spend any money because they're not making money from that because they're already good. So it just tells you that they wanted to even more and dominate even more and break records and make it even better. So to me, that tells a lot. But I guess everyone's got a right to see it the way they want to see it.
Listen, the intent. What I'm going to just got to remind people: they've shown the intent. Have they done things the right way? Absolutely not. I would be forced to say they've made some mistakes, but I see it. And the question whether you could say we could have been better off signing certain players in the transfer window. I think to some extent I agree to that. But my advice is,
Even
yeah, go ahead.
just going back to the ownership and the whole chat, I actually gave views on the match, the Fulham game. I don't think there was much to talk about that game, but overall, the topic that we are discussing, uh, mainly importantly, I think, uh, especially that Club World Cup argument. Look, coach, I think it's a big thing. No one expected us to win, and we won it, and that is a really big deal for us. We are always going to remember it. I think no Chelsea fan actually thinks that this is a small deal. Now, when you mention there are a few people, you are literally talking about 1%. That is a very small minority that you are talking about. I think we can all ignore them. I think it does put a case that yeah, they did well, the owners and the whole structure by winning that trophy. But I think to some extent, that actually makes the case worse. I think there was an opportunity for them to build on that success. I think when we won the trophy, every single person was screaming that this should not end here. We need to capitalize and build something on it. And that is where they failed. So when we mention the victory of the Club World Cup, it actually pains me to say, but it reminds me or angers me more towards the owners rather than, remembering them in a great aspect that, yeah, they won the trophy. In the current situation that we are right now, I think they failed to build on that trophy, on that success. And that is why I can't really say and be happy remembering that trophy in the current time that we are finishing, maybe being eighth in the table in the Premier League and 20 points behind Arsenal. I think that is where the whole
Okay,
argument about.
what I would agree with that is I think that win in the for a lot of the Chelsea fans, they thought we're back and now we've got to win every game. That's what that did, which is the wrong way to look at it
I
because
think I
that
have
was
to
never
agree
going
to
to be
that
the
one.
case.
Yeah.
That
I
was
don't
never going
think
to
if
be
we
the case.
were
Now
like
that
second or third right now in the table, there will be this big of criticism or this much of criticism towards the owners. It's because we are really struggling, and this is not the first instance. This small patch that we are experiencing right now, this has been seen in the 3-4 years under this ownership on multiple occasions. There has been
what about
repeat
the
to
previous
such
ownership? How
patterns.
do we do in December and January?
Sorry.
What about under Abramovich? What did we do in December and January? Have a look at the
Well, under
record and you'll
Abramovich,
see.
there were other things that can help defend the whole case, which is not
Oh,
currently,
okay. All right.
exactly. We were winning the major trophies, and that is why the December patches is not something that you'll mention to a guy who's winning you Champions League and Premier League.
Yeah, we won the Champions League, but
So
we still
the
finished like
December
10th and
patch, when
13th.
did this start?
We've been bad for a long time in December and January. It's like I don't know why, but it's been a problem for a long time, not just with this ownership. With this ownership,
Uh,
and before we had
do,
experience, big difference. We haven't had under this ownership, so I can give him that. Before we had a lot of experience during that time.
Yeah, look, I am not even, the Luco out. Like, I actually favors the fan in to some extent that I don't think that they mean Luco out in, in in that way. I
In
think
No,
all
what
they
they
do
want
say
to
honesty,
they do
portray
mean
is they
it. Yeah.
want changes.
99.9% of them that say that, they mean it because they think it's possible.
They mean
I mean,
it,
coach,
Jay.
come on.
They mean
Protest,
it
you cannot really have
really
a
bad.
sweet and respectful protest. Protests are like that only. You are
But at
going
least
to
let it
be,
be mainly. I'm not saying it should be sweet. They're not going there for a party. I'm
these
saying
people
be
are putting.
objective. You know the reason why the last one failed? It was basically aimless.
And
It
it
Yeah.
was a
was
show. It was a
practically
show.
aimless. A show, and some people using it just to prop up their YouTube channels and grow.
Yeah, for a couple of the narcissists that own channels that they organized it and they did it.
And
And what
at
did
the
they do?
time, you
They
went,
started throwing around
you go
money and
online,
you
and
know,
in that protest in particular, you see a lot of stuff. You could say basically, you could say borderline. You say nationalism. I think that's the correct term at the time. Borderline nationalism, hating on certain nationalities
it was
because yeah,
racism
some of the
and
owners are from
definitely, yeah.
there. They were saying some nonsense online, which actually before it failed before they had it. So which is why I'm advising the plans are good. I'm not part of it. I don't want to be part of it, but the plans they have for me, they're good because they want to. I'm going to say some stuff. Some of the stuff I read from it is to tell the owners, "You've done this way for a long time, and it hasn't worked. Can we do it this way?" Which isn't
Exactly.
bad.
Look, no one is defending, the racism or the other stuff that people were doing. Again, a small minority. No one. I can bet that no one in the sane mind defend that.
Not a small
But I don't
minority,
see
Jay.
a
It was
well.
90% of the protests last season, not a small minority.
Honestly.
I
But
don't,
go ahead,
that
Jay.
was
Go ahead.
a failed protest as well. Look, all I'm saying is I don't really see much problem in the, protest that we saw yesterday. Bluco out, yes, protests are going to be that, like that only. It is going to be disrespectful. It is going to be a little violent because that is the only way that you can be heard and that you can be seen, and that is
But
why
here's the thing,
changes
Jay.
come. Violent
Yeah,
protest
go ahead. Sorry, I
is meant
apologize. Go ahead. Sorry.
Protest is meant to bring changes. I think Ekbali pretty much saw it and heard it. And if he is, you know, if he has anything or any love for this club in some real sense other than business, I believe that he has some interest in running this club in a decent way. That is why I'm not Bluco out. I think the manners and the way that they run is wrong, and I think the protest that we saw yesterday is going to put them under pressure to make some changes, and that is why I think there is nothing wrong in that process or
Okay,
in that
let's believe it
protest.
would. Let's believe. Let's hope it does. But here's what I want to say here. Don't you think to you can say to an extent the timing of the protest uh, can become detrimental to the performance of the players,
It can. The overall environment is going to be
and
toxic.
especially now that we're struggling.
Yeah, I think that is something which I also agree that it is going to impact the team also in some way. But that is the, game. Unfortunately, that is the game. You really can't separate it. The only solution for that is to fix up, and then protest won't be there, and the team can play freely as well. So I think you have to kind of sacrifice once or twice in such a manner only, where the team is also going to get the blunt of such such activities. I don't think there is a way to separate it, unfortunately.
It is an unfortunate situation. I hope they get something out of it. And not the fans. Nobody told you it was the fans' fault. Ishi, let's see. Okay, Natalie. But nice to see you, Natalie. I do hope you're doing well. Okay, thank you, sir. Let's see. How about plastic Chelsea fans do chant and protest after the game? I'm not sure I understand that one. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the conversation this particular morning. It's still 10:09 a.m. for me, fundamentally blue. Nice to see you. And if you're in the chat, if I haven't said hello to you, apologies. I'm gonna have to scroll to the very bottom, and I'll try to get your subsequent contributions in the chat. Okay, the hashtag of fans are complaining about the ownership when they actually do not know what Maresca was complaining about. Maresca had checked out, and it's looking more and more as and it's looking as more and more as Pep's replacement, possibly, really. But you never know. Bobby, I see your comment. Hopefully, you find time to join again. We understand. But I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies. As much as I like to interact with you, there are 225 comments in the chat. I just cannot read all of them. Okay. I appreciate you. And sometimes I might prioritize comments from paid members. Just, make them feel better. I know IB will not complain, but I think it's only fair that every now and then I should just read his comments. Big up, fundamentally blue. Nice to
And he's
see you.
making good
John
sense
Webb
as well.
says, why don't we give Rosenio at least 8 games to see how he does before all this negativity? Not me. I'm open. You can say I'm happy, and I believe he will do well for reasons I've explained. A lot of people actually on X, Chelsea fans, hoping he gets fired immediately. Taking a screenshot of him as Ibali whispering something to him and interpreting that as him just saying yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. But they're entitled to do that. That's who they are. But I operate differently. I think he's going to do well. The same way we told people here that Maresca, he was going to do well. And he did well. Some were saying he's going to be fired before September. Some were saying that, he's not going to last 3 months. And look what he did for us. Kachila, send your location to Mabaso 5. I'm not doing that. Yes, the protests are meant to disrupt the player performances. Fine. Okay, go ahead. Uh, that's the whole point of the protest. It's not. That's how you
No,
want it
it's
to
not.
be. I can, I can,
That is
I
the wrong
can
attitude.
guarantee you. I've seen the main plan. They don't want anything to disrupt the players' performances. I've seen that myself. So, but you wanted to do that. That's what you, Chimera, wants. Yeah. Maresca is the talent. Okay, I'm not reading that. Dante, have you spoken about the goals? What you make of them? And then
Yep.
the red card. I want to hear your opinion on those.
Yeah, look, what Jay was saying, you didn't think we started, but we actually started very well. The system,
No, I was the one that said I didn't think we started well. I think Jay
no, we
said,
did.
Jay agreed.
Bef-
We started well.
Dante,
Yeah.
Yep.
Dante, before you proceed, I just want no, it's actually a serious question. Come on, coach.
Go
Did you
ahead.
see that? I really want to ask you about the system. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I saw a glimpse of that back three system. Neto was maybe playing as a wing back. I'm not sure because
He
the whole
was, but
red
he
card
wasn't
did my
positioning
head.
himself well. Yeah.
Yeah, but as you were arguing that we saw something in the City game, well, I did not. But I can agree that again in that Fulham game, I was seeing some of the ideas of that system.
Well, Gusto was right wing back. Neto was left wing back. Left, actually, to me, it's more like a left midfield and right midfield. But yeah, I think that's probably more accurate the way Rossini uses them. So yeah,
So,
look, I
do you
think
feel he had do you feel he had some influence in that game, or was it McFarlane only?
100%, 100%. Yes, even the second half
Okay.
of, like I told you, the caretaker coach, he doesn't play that in the under 21s. He doesn't play that system. So it came out of nowhere. It didn't come out of nowhere. It came obviously, through they talked obviously on the phone with the sporting directors and the sport. They had a plan. They probably, they wanted to put it in a little bit earlier to implement it, even though he's not taking over it, as in, he wasn't able to because of timing and etc. He still was, had a hand in it a little bit, so I think McFarlane tried to do what he did, what he does, just to start to get the players, get going into that formation. So we definitely saw that. That's the formation he plays. That's exactly right. And we were really doing really well. Started really well. We completely cut out the crowd. Those first 15, 20 minutes, they were doing nothing pretty much. So we played really well. The unfortunate incident, yes. Again, it comes down to the first goal, positioning. Chalobah, I'm not sure sometimes what goes through his head. His positioning is just horrible. There was, that we have the corner, so you got to have. Cucurella was back on his man, which was that Chalobah needed to be next to him, close to him. That was the only guy forward. Chalobah was in no man's land next to the other guys,
And
and he
had
wasn't
he
even up
been
to the corner to
close, he'd
to win the
race
corner.
above them, giving them the opportunity to foul him without getting a red card.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Just the positioning, the awareness, situational awareness of what's happening. It just switched off, and Cucurella was where he was supposed to be, but for me, Chalobah was not where he was supposed to be. So it gives, even though saying that, then obviously Cucurella needed to do a lot better. And look, I think the reason he brought him down and pulled him down, he knew he was outside the box. He thought Chalobah was really close to him because then it wouldn't have been a red card. Would have been a yellow, and that's why they kept arguing that to look at VAR, because it can't be a red card because Chalobah was there. But unfortunately, Chalobah, I don't know. Like I said, instead of sprinting even harder back and try to help Cucurella, he kind of labored a little bit and then split second turned off and then turned back on again and then sprinted back, but it was too late and he was too far away from Cucurella and it was the deserved red card. So I think that a little bit of miscommunication there from that corner, because they were the two players back and there's only one forward from Fulham. Well, you need to. Chalobah cannot stay away. You can't leave it a one-on-one, especially a player like Wilson, where he's one of those quick players. That's a very, very quick player. So yeah, a bit of confusion there on that one. Not excusing Cucurella because he still made the mistake, but I think he thought he got away with it, pulling him down outside the box, yellow card, not red card, because Chalobah was right next to him, but Chalobah was not right next to him. So, yeah, so that's a bad one. Second goal, well, you know, again, we were playing very well. I think the subs were not the best. Now, I don't know why that is. Obviously, Palmer coming off, I don't mind because I think he needed to come off. He knew he was coming off 70th minute. That was the plan. I saw him complaining a little bit, but he was horrible for first 60 minutes again, losing the
He's been
ball.
horrible for more. Even the game against Everton, he got a goal, but was still horrible on that day.
Yeah, just before he came off, probably 10 minutes before he came off, he started all of a sudden, he woke up, he was sharp, he was faking, he was taking players on, he was making runs, and he looked really, I'm like, oh, he's back, thank God. I think we can win this game now, actually. And then he had to go off. So the changes weren't the best, I think. I think the changes should have been different. I think Neto definitely needed to come off. I am not sure why he stayed on. He was struggling.
What happened? Please, if you don't mind, what has happened to Neto?
Coach, I think, especially in playing this way, running a lot. This is why I've always criticized, even before, do not play him on the left, because on the left, when he comes to a one-on-one, he hasn't got the skill moves on the left-hand side like he has on the right-hand side.
You could see that he was forcing it.
Correct. Okay, so on the right-hand side, he's got the skill moves because that's his side, his positioning, he's got the skill moves to get around a player and confidently, and you know yeah, he's comfortable doing that on the right hand side, no problem. On the left, he's not, and he's never been, and he's always going to second guess himself and not even get a proper cross in, and that's why I keep saying do not play him on the left. He's a bit of a waste on the left, to be honest. So yeah, I'd probably that he shouldn't have stayed on anymore, or at least move him to the right or whatever, change it up, put him in a position to succeed, because he's not going to do it on the left hand side. And that's why I said when we talk about winners and losers, he's one of those losers, because I don't think he's going to be able to play as a left wing back, and as a 10, I don't think so either. So him, Garnacho, and Gittins might be a little bit losers in that. Depends how they adapt to the position, but I think that is a very important position for Rossini's system, and you can't play Neto there. He's not good on the left. He can do it on the right. Put him on the right wing back. The problem is we have Gusto and Reece James, but put him as a right wing back and he'll do way better. So that is a little problem there.
But on
Anyway,
the
the second
left,
goal,
he creates more on the left. On the right side, he shoots a lot more than usual. That's the difference. Whenever he's on the left, he creates chances.
yeah, and he hasn't
A
got
lot
the
more.
skill moves because he hasn't got, when I talk about skill moves, his fakes, his change of direction, his step overs. He can't do it on the left because he's not comfortable running to the left and going on the outside. So he gets confused. He'll take an extra touch back in or back to. He can't do it because that's not his natural game. Unfortunately, he's not that type of winger. He's more of a power winger, direct winger, a touchline winger. That's his game. And on the right, he's very good at that. On the left, he struggles because the skill moves are not there from the left hand side. He just he can't do them properly. So anyway, the goal, he got a bit lucky, obviously. I think Hato overreacted a bit and went in too hard, and just Wilson just held the ball up, got past it. Even the shot, he hit James, it reflected off his pretty much off his balls. It was pretty funny, actually. I thought Coach will have a big laugh with that one, but I'm not sure if he did.
Inner thighs. We can use inner thighs.
Yeah, he hit his Wilson hit the shot and
Inner
it came off
th-
Reese's cojones and went the other way and went in. So that was a bit of a lucky goal as well, to be honest.
Coach is
Yes.
actually a funny guy. He will laugh at the most nonsensical things, and then when there's a real reason to laugh, he will be
He
silent.
won't. Yeah,
No, I
exactly.
was distracted, actually. I have to be honest.
Yeah. So
I was distracted, but I had to pretend I was laughing with you guys.
look, even that goal, they were a bit lucky with that goal because of that. So with the deflection, because that was going straight to Sanchez. That ball, he was
But
going to say it was going straight to him. So
can we
You
talk
know,
about Nate Hato? Yoro Hato proven to a lot of fans that he's a good player. We've always known we didn't give up on him. I think usually people are quick to conclude that a player isn't good if they aren't getting playing time. And we did talk about how at the time that awful outing in the Champions League away to Karabakh, that's not easy to recover from. Maresca did really well not to have, you could say, hauled him off the pitch on the day, which is good. Had he done that, I think he'd still be struggling right now. He let them finish the game, and I was expecting him to get to play again in the cup game, and he did. And look, he's looking sharper and sharper right now. I think the more he plays, the more we get to see the best of him, because that kid is a good defender. He's good on the ball. Cucurella more experienced, but he's more technically gifted than Cucurella. He's a
and the
better
system,
dribbler too.
the system
Yeah, go
benefits
ahead.
him as well, coach. As a left centre back, he will play there a lot because he did that at Ajax as well. So in a back three like that, that suits him. He will play because he's got the speed, he's got the recovery speed, as we've seen many times. But again, like I said, he made a mistake on the goal that should have never got a shot off. He beat
I
the fake from. He went in too hard and overcommitted and just completely missed the tackle and got baited by what's his name, Wilson. So yeah, that was a defensive mistake. But you saw the rest. He did pretty well. He can run. He can cover. He can track back. He's got the acceleration. He's got that. In this system, he'll actually play well. And I think Rosina will use him in this system, I think, as a left centre back more often than not, in my opinion.
Go
I
ahead.
still
You were going to say something.
I still refuse to believe that we are actually going, to work with that system. I know we did have some ideas or, some glimpses of that system, but it's
How
just
much
too
more do you want to see,
big.
Jay? We saw one half and then one full game.
Yeah, look, we did look good. There were some good performance, especially before the red card. Looked really good to the eyes. But again, the loss of some of the players would be too big. We just talked about Neto. That's why
Yeah.
I still refuse to believe that we are going to work with this system because it will make a lot of players redundant and useless. I don't know how this is going to really work.
Well, I told you probably the only ones that might. The rest are fine. The rest is no problem. We've got plenty of cover
There are
everywhere
quite a
else.
few, if you
Who
see,
else?
there are
Who
quite a
else?
few.
Who?
I mean, Neto is a clear one because on the right he's good, but there are too many, competition, especially as a wing back
Yes.
if he's going to play. So it just
Do you
expl
recognize it? Do you know that he hardly ever creates anything whenever he plays on the right? Yeah,
Neto,
yeah.
No, that's not true, coach.
No, he doesn't
he did
create as
he
much, like you could say, than when he plays on the left. Because
He
on the
creates
right,
way more.
in most
All his
cases,
assists
you
have
could
come from
say
the
he
right,
gets a chance, he tries to shoot.
coach. All
he's
his
a
assists come from the right. All of them.
Yeah, all his GA is actually from the right. The
How
only
many
thing that
assists from the right has he gotten?
if I'm not wrong, I think he's got just one assist from that left. That was against Nottingham Forest.
And on the right hand side, which assist?
And the rest are from the right.
They're all from the right, coach.
Is it like which one and which one?
I can't exactly remember which ones,
Yeah,
but I
one assist I can remember. Maybe that's because there aren't too many of them. But on the right, he creates. Forget whether we're putting it away or not. I remember the one assist I can still remember was against Fulham last season for Tariq George, which you could argue, was it for Tariq George or who?
I can't remember, coach. But the thing is,
Yeah,
on the left, he doesn't. You can't cut in and shoot on your left.
yeah, he's way too predictable.
Okay, so on the right, you've got the threat of him cutting in and shooting on his left as well. On the right, sorry, on the left, you don't have that threat. He's not going to shoot with his right because he's not that good at shooting with his right.
All right, let's catch up here.
I mean, you saw
My
the
man
balls
says, go ahead.
he tried to shoot one or two. He like didn't even make contact with them, and they just bobbled and just went over. And even a couple of the crosses on the right, he turned back to his right, tried to cross. On his left, and no, he can't do it. But on the right, he can cross with his right very well. He always turns back, holds the ball, and does the curl in. and I think 2 or 3 goals João Pedro scored like that from his, not in the Premier League, one in the Premier League, the other 2 in the Cup. So yes, he can do, but then he's got the threat of he's got the skill moves on the right hand side, and the threat of cutting to the left and shooting with power. So you've got a triple threat attack on playing him on the right. On the left, you're limiting him to, well, not much, to be honest. Just, a bit of a speed threat and nothing else too much. Yeah, because he hasn't got that shot on the right. He hasn't got that power to shoot with his right, to cut in and shoot with his right foot.
All right, let's see. What do we have here? I disagree with that. Chalobah has been one of our most consistent defenders this season, but that doesn't mean that he's the best we can do.
Well, he's
I'll
had
be the
2.
yeah.
This one
I'll
of
be
the
one
other
of
one
the
was his
first to
goals.
tell you. I'll be one of the first to tell you that I'm happy. I'm happy that we recalled him, but I'll also tell you that it's not the best we can do because the situation could have been worse for us had we not recalled him. Go ahead, Dante, if you were saying
Yeah,
something.
well, the other goal, he's the only threat aerially, and that's why Tossin was in this for this game, for the threat aerially, and he actually did very well. Tossin, anything that came in the air, he won everything. When Jimenez, what's his name, Raul Jimenez, he got away from him and he went to Chalobah. Well, you saw what happened. Chalobah lost him, got the
That
header,
was
scored the
that
goal.
was poor defending from Chalobah.
That's very poor defending. He
Yeah,
did it the week before as well, where he headed the
because he
ball.
saw the ball. You
Yeah,
go
he
to
did.
the
He saw
ball,
the
and
run
had he made effort to go to the ball, I don't think Jimenez would have had a chance to head it in as cleanly as he did. At least he
again.
would have.
Coach,
At least you
he
could say,
froze. Wrong
yeah,
positioning again. Just wrong
yeah.
position. He had his
He was
man
on the wrong
Jimenez
side
one
too.
in front of him.
But if you saw the ball coming with a leap and make an effort towards the ball, that would be enough to unsettle him a bit. Wouldn't have
Yes,
been, you say, that
yes.
much of a free header had he done
Put a
that.
body on him. Yes, and what
Yeah,
Tosin did go. I think the last 10 minutes, yeah, there was a similar one where Tosin was the one marking him. The ball came in. He put a full body on Jimenez, and the header didn't go nowhere because he couldn't. This is the problem. He's not very good. Shalaba's good on the floor, defending, blocking, but when it comes to anything aerial, he struggles a lot. Yeah, from corners, from set pieces, what we saw yesterday as well. So yes, unfortunately, this is it, and this is why I always say I like Shalaba, but he's a squad player for me. If you want to have a team that's going to win, the Premier League and everything, well, he's a squad player. He's not a starting centre back week in and week out. You're not going to win the Premier League, in my personal opinion, with him as the centre back because he just lacks a bit too much in those areas for me. He'll have good games, but he'll have a lot of bad games and a lot of errors. And yeah, most of those are results in goals as well.
Yeah, I
all right.
think
Let's see what we have
people
here. Go ahead, Jay, if you were saying something.
I think people respect Chalobah a lot. I think he's not even underappreciated. I think he's been acknowledged and praised
Yeah, he
really
has
well.
because he's a
But
common boy as
but
well.
there is
So
a
everyone loves him
but
too.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. But there is a reason that no one actually talks about putting him in the same bracket as Fofana and Colwill, and that is because he's always prone to these small errors always. Hence why he will always be a little one level down to those guys.
yeah, and he's not young anymore. He's actually got a lot of experience.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was 1 or 2 year ago on the same on this stream as well. I said that he's one of the best squad players that you can have or any team can have, but squad player.
Right. For attempting to finish the honesty that Dante but and leave me alone, please. It's a seriously that we finished 12th and your attitude didn't change. It won't change if we finish bottom table. And risk relegation. You will not protest. You will write strongly worded letter instead. Wow.
So what is he talking about? 12th, where the first season they came in under all those restrictions and all that everything that happened. Like, come on,
Look,
Chimera,
Chimera,
seriously.
let me say this. I'm not their best friends. I'm not their biggest fans. But have the project been a total disaster? Absolutely not. Has it been perfect? No, either. But you have every right to view me the way you view me. That's okay. I hear that all the time. What else we have here? Speaking to Dante, anything else important? 25. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. He says really, Coachella, you're asking another fan what happened to NATO. Where is your analysis? Because this is a panel, a group of panelists. It's not just about me.
He's
I
on
ask
to
the questions. Sometimes they
he,
ask the questions.
He's on a
he's
roll,
on to
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
on to you.
Neto was one of our best wingers, our best right-hand side wingers most of the season.
Yeah.
The last 2 to 3 games, he's really struggled, yes.
So he
But
says, Dante, why not put Reece James at right centre back with Pedro Neto at right wing back, just like what Amorim did with Amad Diallo when Haram Ball. Let's see. We might well as well see. Chances are we'd see Pedro Neto as operate as a wing back. We could. So anything else? Yeah, I'm going to go to the very bottom. Dan, nice to see you, Dan. I do hope you're doing well. You can always share the link to your YouTube channel so people can go check it out. I think Dan has a comment.
what Dan? Who's Dan? Is that Wiki Dan? Wikipedia Dan?
Which one is Wikipedia Dan?
I call him Wiki Dan. Is that Wiki Dan from?
Yeah, I think that's a shamble of a
Tower
game
Media?
yesterday. Blue Core out, Sporting directors out, as well as can see the players don't want to play for these owners. Enough is enough. Now you're making up SHIT. The latter part of your comment is absolute horse dog, really. All right, I'm gonna start catching up with what we have out there. He says that was Tosin. What can you do when Chalobah was playing both positions? We cannot blame Chalo. Blame Cuckoo letting the team down. Okay, I thought you said the reason was that gosh, I'm losing my voice. I need that, honey.
Coach, he will never criticize Chalobah because he's a Cobham boy, and he will never disrespect or say anything bad about him. Doesn't matter what happens. So this is a problem, unfortunately, in the fan base with sometimes players like this.
Yeah, I agree.
No, look, I think Chalobah had a poor game, but there's no scenario where we need to put him in the same bracket as Tosin. Not at all, especially this season. Chalobah has been far, far, far better than Tosin. So there cannot be any demand for him to be
I'm not
criticized
talking
in the
about that.
same.
Okay? I'm talking about what he was writing there. That it's Tosin's. Tosin was up for the corner. It wasn't Tosin's. He wasn't the one sitting back for marking. He was up for the corner. So Tosin was not even involved there.
Okay,
It was Chalobah and Cucurella back
I thought
only.
it was overall. Sorry.
No.
All right. Let's go see what's going on there, and then I'll come back. So we can call it a day. What do we have here? Let's see. I'm trying to help. I'm losing my voice. Jesus Christ. So Liam Rossino, I think, I see. Just pronounce the row and then senior, 2 syllables, and then you get it. For me, he says, I have an idea of the way I want to play. It has to suit the players. Okay? So practically, you could argue there won't be too many losers here. 1 second.
Yeah, look, it depends, coach. I mean, like I said, those players can play in those positions. Now, are you going to get the best amount of those in the positions? No, you're not. So,
are you guys surprised and shocked, or maybe even worried by the lack of minutes or opportunities to both Gittins and Garnacho in the last 2 matches?
yeah, I know. And you and a lot of people saying they shouldn't be playing anyway because they're not good enough. But you can see.
Look, it actually pained me a lot, but I was actually, at one point, I was actually praying for Garnacho to be, subbed on instead of
Exactly.
Neto, because
I
Neto
think
was
he would
that
have
bad.
done better than Neto on the day. Neto just looked off. Maybe he's so pained that Maresca left. I'm just saying that
Neto,
probably that's that you could say comment of mine driven up by the fact that I read something he said publicly about the players not being happy with the departure of Maresca. But go ahead
And he's
with
played,
what you're
coach, he's
saying
played in a
there.
new position the last 2 games, and he's been bad in that position, and that's left wing back. So, yeah, like I said, on the left, he was never good on the Maresca, that good on the left anyway. When you're putting him in that new position and a new role, having to run more, because you do run more in that left midfield role, left wing back, whatever you want to call it, you're going to run more because that's the system. So, yeah, I think that's he struggles there, and that's why you haven't seen Garnacho or Gittins. That's why I keep saying I think they can be losers because they would have come on otherwise. But I don't think in training, or he knows they
Let's be
can't
clear. When
lose.
you say they can be losers, which means they're going to leave eventually.
Could be, but that depends what happens to
I don't see
Rosenior as
that
well.
happening, really.
Well, we're
I,
not sure about the system,
yeah,
coach.
I don't see
Again,
that happening.
let's.
And just as I've said before,
Depends on the
but even
system if he
before
changes it or not.
arrival, before they hired him, they have a conversation and tell him, look at the players we have, and okay, let me read this first. Let me read this. He said, for me, I have an idea of the way I want to play. It has to suit the players. I'm not sure, but you can
He
do
does.
whatever you want with that particular comment.
It
I
suits
don't
the
think
players,
we actually
coach.
should just say Gittins and Garnacho definitely losers.
It suits the player, just like any coach. Most will suit most systems, but not all the players. There will always be 2 or 3.
So
When
there
Maresca
will
came
always be
in,
exceptions.
there will always same thing when Maresca came in. What did we say? We picked them. I picked them out. You picked them out with me, and we talked about them. And they were the exact ones that are gone and not playing. Now, this is all I'm saying with this system. It is hard for me to see those playing too much in this system if it doesn't tweak it a little bit. And from what I've seen so far in this 1.5 games when they've played that, they have not come on at all.
Jay, what do you want to add to that?
Again, I think I still refuse to believe that he's going to work with this system. I still think that it will be a big cost. I think the owners and the sporting director, as I believe, would be involved in such a big decisions. I don't think they would accept such big losses just because of a system. So I still have hope, and I'm refusing to believe that we are going to work with the back three system.
Which also proves another point that those players were specifically bought for Maresca. Maresca brought those players in. It's pretty clear and
Or
obvious.
maybe
Not
just,
necessarily. Not
or maybe
necessarily
just
because
bad planning.
yeah, but you
No,
can
no,
argue
very
yeah.
necessary. It is, coach, because they're touchline, they're that type of wingers. They are. That's how we play under Maresca.
Yeah, he was okay. I think it's accurate to say he was bought because of him. They were bought because of him because they
Yes,
know how he likes to play, and as such, prioritize. You can say that particular
correct.
profile.
Yes, and that was the start of the season when different. They were in a good relationship, no problems. They got him ammunition. They got him the players that he needed. He needed 2 left wingers. And he said he needs 2 wingers. We need one that's a dribbler and one that's a direct winger, and that's exactly what they got him. And we did see reports after the Maresca said, yes, about Garnacho. Yes, it was his signing. He wanted Garnacho. He said yes to Garnacho.
All right, let's see. I cannot see. Okay, you're in there. Pedro Neto at right wing back will be like Victor Moses at right wing back during 16-17 under Antonio Conte, possibly. I haven't had that brand of coffee in a while. Anything else? Yeah, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Let's see, says Kachila. You started speaking out of point right now. Let's see. Liam Rosenior is a very smooth talker, and I hope it translates to be. Yeah, again. That was the first thing. One of the first things I noticed about him. He's an excellent communicator, which simply means, in my opinion, because he knows what he's doing, he'd be able to effectively communicate his ideas to his players. Not going to be that easy with the Spanish. Chelsea non-English speaking contingent. I think there are plenty of them right now. Anything else? Yeah. What do we have? It says Dante keeps on me just like Garnacho and would admit what a bad player he is. He doesn't have to admit. He believes he's a good player. He's a good player, and I do believe Garnacho is also a good player. it's another argument whether he's Chelsea level. I think he is. That maybe under Rosinho we'll see him at his best, in my opinion. Look, people begging for him to be on the pitch rather than Pedro Neto yesterday. What does that tell you? He says, I want him out. The player is a liability. Okay. I don't think as
Midget.
such, but maybe he
Wow.
is. We'll find out. What else
Bobby
do you
still
have?
wants 5 players on as wingers.
Everyone gets a red card. Yeah, it's a gift. Oprah Winfrey. The sporting directors should never interfere with the coach's system or how he plays. They shouldn't. And has that happened at Chelsea? I don't think so. And if Maresca has anything to say, let him say it now or forever shut his mouth. I heard he said, yeah, he has a lot to say. There's a lot from his end, and people have had, you said that's still not public yet, but eventually he's gonna make them public. But he's chosen to stay quiet at the moment. Then shut the f up if you don't want to say anything. It's like, if in fact that's coming from his camp, it's like he's deliberately pushing for there to be more divide between Chelsea fans and the club, which I hated his farewell message. It was just me, more like self appraisal. Classic self appraisal, I must say. I was disappointed to have read that. Nothing showed that, yeah, he really did care about the club at all, and was nothing you could say about it comes across as it being heartfelt. I was disappointed when I read it. Like, it was just about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my opinion anyway. Bobby, welcome back to the panel. I do hope you're doing well. And yeah,
We
Chris
don't want any
Leclerc.
midgets on
Yeah.
this panel. Go away, Bobby.
No, these midget players, and we don't
How
need
tall
that.
are you, Bobby?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I'm 6 foot to be honest, but
Oh,
exactly spot on. But that's not the reason why I do that. It's not a personal thing. It's an objective thing.
No, I
You
understand. Yeah.
exactly. It's not. I mean, there's no point putting a Garnacho next to what's that centre back Fulham had, and you take corners and expect Garnacho to do anything about it. If you have a physical deficiency,
Ganacho
it's
isn't
not
good
your fault.
at tracking his man, I have to say that.
That's
Even though I
another
like him as
thing,
a player.
So he's not good at beating his man either. So what's the point? You know, unfortunately I've had to log on to another device, which gives me just about 15 minutes, which is crazy. I don't know
you
why.
sound much better on this device, at least. It's good.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't get you back on my phone though. That's something that's a bit odd. But
I'm honestly
you know,
not sure what's going on, Bobby.
Coach, can you
look,
please unblock him?
coach. I know coach should do sneaky stuff like that because he knows
Yeah, I
that I
sense
bring
something
the fire.
fishy.
I bring the fire.
I'm not
Look,
talking to you guys.
look,
It's
we're all a bit fed up with all this at Chelsea. We really are, bro. Come on. I mean, I hate talking about money spent, but you've got to look at it in that context. You've invested heavily into this squad, yes, to repair and reshape the squad. So, what's the point in not doing it properly? They say the sign of madness is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Now, you've tried the youth system. Nobody's even opposed to the youth system, but you've got to inject quality. And I think before I got cut off the last time, I don't know if it was heard when I said you've got to add a grade A purchase into the squad. I mentioned Gui, I mentioned Semenya just as examples because I know probably the salary demands are
you mean
Who?
Guehi,
Gray.
because you
Oh,
Okay.
called him
Guehi.
Gui.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, good. They all sounds the same to me, but you get my drift. So, you know, we have to do that, and the squad is screaming for that. Yesterday, I made a profound observation that we all know, many of us don't want to admit, but is starkly true. Yes, Cole Palmer is trying to find his form and his full fitness, but his greatest performances came alongside Jackson. Jackson brings the best out of him,
Oh,
and
coach,
that's
can you block him
something
again?
and that's something that needs to be seriously considered. You know, we have a deficiency in that team, and unless we address it, we I don't want to say it, but we might have to deal with falling like a stone. What Rosinia can do is left to be seen. Yeah, he talks wonderfully, which concerns me. Sometimes people that talk well don't do well.
Bobby,
Um,
what about the Laps performance the last couple? Are you encouraged by that at all or not?
I am encouraged by Delap at Man City and against Fulham. I have to say, he showed that centre forward presence that we so desperately need, and his physicality was to match with what the opponents had. But the trouble is, he was alone. Okay, when João Pedro came on, and we had an extra height in that area, we kind of performed a bit better. But then our defense let us down. Um, I don't particularly blame Hatto for that's what's his name, Harry. What's it? The guy that scored Fulham's second goal from getting away with it, getting away from him, because I'm looking at Hatto as somebody that is still getting his feet in the Premier League opportunities by Enzo Maresca for reasons best known to Enzo Maresca and nobody else. The squad needs some work, and we can't even gauge where we are until Rosinia starts. And oh gosh, I'm just praying honestly because I don't know, if unless he comes in and addresses these deficiencies, we're going to go further backwards than we are already. Sorry, but that's just
All
how it
right,
is.
Jay, you have anything with regards to what Bobby said about Parma needing Nicholas Jackson?
Look, I'm not the biggest fan of Jackson, uh, but it is also true. There is also some truth in the fact that we haven't really upgraded or improved on him. Yes, Delap has shown some quality works in the last two matches, and he might come good in the next few games as well, especially under Rosinho. But I think we cannot argue that the output in numbers that Jackson was putting, and it's also the chemistry with Palmer as well. It's undeniably that it was one major source of our attack. So I'm not sure if there is a chance that he can come back. Uh, I would be happy to try him out again, but then again we would have to consider because we can't have really three strikers, and also we will have Emega as well. So then needs to be some serious consideration about
So
the
he's
striker
probably not
department
gonna,
in the
most
summer.
likely not gonna come back.
Yeah, because we are having a lot already, and Omega is also going to come. I think that ship had sailed, but I think hopefully we can improve on him, and then we might not even, miss him this much. And I think Palmer's case is more about him rather than Jackson. I still believe that he is suffering from the break that the injury caused him. I think he can still uh, uplift himself to the levels, similar levels to what we saw. I think it's just about time. I still believe in the quality of Palmer.
Exactly. Yeah, I
I
was going to say
think
that as well.
you could argue the Parma suffered when Nicholas Jackson was out injured and vice versa. But I think Parma and Nicholas Jackson, they did have an on-field falling out, I think.
Well, they
Which
did once in the game against is it Bok? What's that Brazilian side? What's their
Yeah, yeah,
name?
yeah, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, where
Silva,
Palm,
I think.
where
The post.
Jackson failed to pass to
Yeah, it was
Palmer.
a
Where
semi-final.
Yeah, but that happens in football. Jackson would do some very idiotic things. We know that he would do. He was a silly boy. Not least to mention the cards he got. But it's undeniable that he had a chemistry with Cole Palmer, which brought the best out of Cole Palmer. It was
And in
just
the
clear.
absence of either of the two, the other suffered.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
but Bobby, it wouldn't have made a difference because we hadn't have a Palmer, and if it was just Jackson and no Palmer, it wouldn't have made no difference.
I beg to differ. I think
Well, João
Jackson.
Pedro's hit. João Pedro's got very good numbers, better numbers than Jackson so far. So if he keeps going, he's gonna have way more than Jackson if he keeps going this way.
Well, this is not a indictment to João Pedro. It's just an it's chemistry. I remember. I mean, I can go back to
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it
that's what I
means.
mean. João Pedro and Cole Palmer's chemistry, was that not on show and evident at the Club World Cup and early in the season, especially
It
November?
it certainly was at the Club World Cup. I think Palmer has been out too long with injury for us to really see it evident this season. Because one thing is for sure,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
he and Jackson had a very long run together in the side, and you could see it clearly. I mean, it's just the truth. I saw. I've gone through the era of when we had Hasselbank and Gudjonsson. That was a magnificent pairing. The chemistry. They could play football together with their eyes closed. It just happens like that with some players. They found each other. They knew exactly everything about each other, and they brought out the best in each other. Now, is that relationship with Jackson and Palmer replaceable? Quite possibly. Jay has mentioned that. Yeah, and I agree with that. But is it evident that it happened, and evident that perhaps if Jackson was in the squad, it would help Palmer on his road to finding his form? It's left to be seen. It's arguable, but I think it would. That's just the reality. Does it mean Jackson will come back with Omega coming? I don't believe having three strikers is too much. I don't think we have three strikers. We will have two when Omega comes, because he and Delap will be the real strikers. All the rest will be, as I described them, floaters around the strikers. People like Jao Pedro, etc. And
Also, let me
indeed,
say this: Rossinha plays with the two striker system in some games.
perfect. Perfect. I just want to see us more efficient in front of goal. Yesterday, for too long a period, our offensive play was lethargic. I don't know what's happened to Pedro Neto. Maybe he needs some time on the bench. Because he was dreadful, and that's the second game in a row he's been dreadful. Losing the ball, running over the ball, tripping over himself, and all sorts of foolishness. So we need to be sharper, and if that means another battering ram to play up front with Delap, and indeed playing him, we need to have different options. That's all I'm saying. And the form of Cole Palmer, unfortunately, we're going to have to give it time to find itself again, and let's see what happens throughout the course of the season. But Rosinia doesn't have much time. Nobody knows what qualities he actually possesses as a manager. Nobody has that feel for him in the Premier League or in English football. Yes, he was involved with Hall and all that, but I can assure you none of us here on the panel actually paid any attention to that whatsoever. So we've got no yardstick to measure this guy. And not only that, he's coming in mid-season. And not only that, he doesn't know these players. He's never been with them. So he's going to be one heck of a manager if he can come in and get this ship ticking. Is it impossible? No, it's not. It will be credit to him if he does. That's the point I'm making.
All right, thank you so much for that. What was the question I was going to ask? I lost it. What was
Are
the
you
question I
falling
was going
asleep,
to ask?
Coach?
Sorry?
Are you falling asleep?
No, I wasn't. I was paying attention, but I lost what I wanted to ask. That was the question I wanted to ask. So Liam Rosonia here saying, for me, I have an idea of the way I want to play. It has to suit the players. I think that's one of the reasons I've been brought to the club. That says a lot. One of the reasons he's been brought to the
It's the
club
right
is,
thing to say.
however he plays would have to suit the profile of the players. I think my style fits the players perfectly. But you have to be able to adapt in terms of tactics, formation, and system. That's not the most important thing. The most important thing for me is intensity, running, spirit, and quality, and you can do that in many, many different ways in football. So go ahead, Bobby. You were gonna say something.
If he
Yeah,
puts down
he's
barbecue, maybe Vic will be back on board as well.
yeah, I mean, look, the guy talks well. The guy says the right things. If you look at all the video clips, even when he sat as a pundit, he's a good talker. He makes sense. He understands the game. He really does. But how many of us understand the game? Does that mean we can sit on the touchline and direct Chelsea Football Club? You have to prove that. So I'm waiting to see whether he can translate his talk into actuality. If he can, my goodness, he's going to be one heck of a manager. We're looking at a Jose Mourinho type manager, because the things he says are so correct, but execution is the thing. And he's got to be, he can't be rigid. He can't be a Maresca. Maresca will play out from the back until he concedes 50 goals. He can't do that nonsense. He's got to be able to be pragmatic. Yes, Maresca once in a while was pragmatic, as he was in the World Club Cup final. But that was only after he had the opportunity and the longevity of time to study PSG to a T. This guy is going to have to understand that, look, there are some games in the Premier League you've got to be physical. You fight for that right to play. And he's somebody that played. He played against the likes of Drogba, Robin, and so on. He's mentioned it himself in one of his interviews, and he saw what a firestorm that was. So if he can take that playing experience into coaching experience and into selecting the right players for Chelsea, then happy days for real.
Yeah. Also, during the 2009-10 season, Chelsea had experience of players over the age of 30 like Drogba, Anelka, Lampard, Ballack, Ferreira, Belletti, Giuliano Belletti. I love them. Youth players like Sam Hutchinson and Fabio Baruni, Gal Calcutta. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Yeah, this team needs a lot of work to what? To ever think about winning the league. I don't think so, actually. Well, I'm going to say this again, but that's my opinion. We are actually one or two center back signings, and maybe one more attacking player to be contending. And I still think we'll be in the title race next come 26-27 season. Remember, I said that. I don't. I said, look, I'm one of those that said this season we're not in it. Next season, definitely, because I'm following the progress closely. The progress we've made. We've been in a very poor form of late, but yeah, that doesn't take away that we've made some progress really. But we have struggled of late, and you could say we haven't necessarily built on the progress we made last season. Let's see what else do we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go along. We're once again fundamentally blue. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Spotting Bobby, a lot of fans for Bobby in the chat. This is from Chelsea for Chelsea. Thank you for joining the conversation. Say hello, mate. Hope all is well today. I hope all is well. Do you have any idea what will happen
Sorry,
if?
guys, I have to try and change device again. I hope it works.
Sorry.
I have to try and change device again. I hope it works.
Okay. If our ownership, if management for closed blue co-ownership, is it a free for all bidding war for ownership? I'm not that. If you understand this, can you help me?
What is he saying? Do you?
Chelsea for Chelsea, it's a bit difficult to understand the question you asked here. And Jay, I don't know if you're looking at it. If you understand it, can you chime in?
There's not going to be no foreclosure. What is he talking about? They have so much money and equity. This company, it's such a big company. all the companies involved are massive. There's not going to be no foreclosure or anything like that happening.
Yeah, there won't be. Everything you do in life, you need to learn from people that have done it before, just how the world works. Experience is the key. I agree, experience is very important. And I know why you're saying that. But let me see, what else do we have here? Okay, Dan wants the link. I'm gonna send it to him so we can hear him.
No, coach, please don't send it to Dan.
No, let's hear Dan. But it's just my
You're
app is
gonna get
acting up.
you're gonna have problems, coach. You're gonna
No, we
demonetized.
we won't. It's just that I have issues with my iPad now. That's why I haven't sent it. And maybe I here's Tim Dante. Cassadine. You know the academy players very well.
Yes, yes.
We're selling him for how much? Middlesbrough agreed deal to sign Leo Cassadine from Chelsea on a permanent move. Is that where he's on loan?
No, he's not there on loan. No, he's at Huddersfield.
Okay, he's at another club. Okay, selling
Yes.
him. Are we losing a talent here?
He's done very well in the championship. He scored 12 goals in 12 games this season. For Huddersfield.
That's one goal per game.
Yes. He's at that age where he's moving up. He's either comes back to be in the team or he's gonna go. So I have no problem with him leaving. We're not gonna get that much money for him, to be honest. Yeah, so it is what it is. I liked him in the youth setup and he played very well. He's an attacking midfielder pretty much. So he's a nice player. He's got good technical ability. Not that fast, but he doesn't need it. He's got not bad physicality either, but he's not that tall either. So look, I think he just wants to play and he's got that age. I think he's turning 20 or 21. He needs to go and we can't keep a player at that age anymore. Basically, it's either he's, like I said, breaks through to the first team or gets sold, basically. So once they hit that age, he's not 18, we can still do that and loan him out. And he's at that age now. He needs to make that move and he probably wants to go as well, and he's taken the move. Yeah, surprised he's not going to Huddersfield. That's a very surprised. Middlesbrough coming to get him, so they must have offered more money. So yeah, but I don't know how much it says there. It doesn't say no much money. I haven't seen anywhere where it says the actual fee. So till we find that out, we'll wait and see. But
I heard
Do you want to
might
answer
be
that
around
or just
1
move
million.
on?
I don't think he's good enough. My point is to come back to Chelsea. He's not at that level. So
He's not
But in
making
the
it there.
championship, yeah, that's where he is. Or
yes,
Yeah,
coach.
champions.
12 goals in 12 games. That's not bad in the championship.
Or is it League One?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
but-
Anyway, yeah, it's low level. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jay.
I don't know about the fees. I think I saw somewhere maybe around 1 or 2 million. I don't see us getting a lot for him.
Do you
some
know
players,
him that well to know he's worth a lot more?
Huddersfield, I
like
think,
not, I'm
wanted
not
to pay
assuming.
$1 million.
I heard about it.
Yes, so Huddersfield wanted
No,
to pay
I
$1
saw.
million.
I did see the fee too.
Yeah, so Huddersfield wanted to pay the $1 million, but it looks like Middlesbrough come in and they've offered a lot more, obviously. So we don't know how much that is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a hard choice. Middlesbrough is in contention to, get promoted to Premier League. So
Exactly. Yeah.
easy
Good
choice.
choice.
All right. Harry Hudson will be promoted to take over Chelsea's under 21. That's because McFarlane will be joining the first team squad. Chelsea caretaker Callum McFarlane is joining Liam Rosenior's first team coaching staff rather than going back to managing the under 21s. That must be Liam's decision, or do you think it's the club? Definitely Liam's decision.
He's impressed in the interviews and the press conferences. He's spoken very well. He's been calm. He's level head. So look, he's getting promoted. He's impressed.
Yeah, that's
obviously.
promotion. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's
you
getting
can say
promoted.
the draw against City earned him that promotion. He could have. I'd go to the extent of saying, had it not been for the red card, I think we would have beaten Fulham.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, as well. I think we would have been him as well. It's hard to say exactly, but we were definitely way better than them till that happened, and we were pushing, nearly trying to score. So yeah, look, it's good. It's a promotion. It's very good for him. Like I said, he spoke very well in the press conferences. He came across intelligent. The stuff he said, so the way he said it. So I have no problem with it. It's rewarding people within your club as well. So, uh, he's taking the opportunity as well. And obviously, Rossini likes him to bring him on as an assistant coach as well.
Yeah,
As
I'm
you
happy for
as
Liam Delap. It's been a long time coming. Those that don't know him well, they've started complaining, even not considering factors such as him not having a full preseason and out injured twice. I think, here's something else because, he's a big player and he applies himself in an aggressive manner whenever he's on the pitch. So some people don't are not able to look beyond his, you could say, aggressive approach to see that he's actually a player that's good on the ball. Has good, yeah, a player that's he's really really good on the ball. Can create for his teammates too. Um, but yeah, because people don't look beyond his aggressive approach, application on the pitch to recognize that. Unfortunately, Liam the Lab says it's been a difficult start for me with a few injuries, and then it's always difficult to get shape and get going. I've got a period now where I am starting to feel good. I mean, you can see, I one could sense it watching him play for Chelsea of late. So hopefully that will carry on and continue until the end of the season. And you could argue he's signed some new lease of life. Maybe it wasn't like his time at Chelsea was coming to an end or he was struggling that much. People just don't pay attention to what happened during games and judge him right off the bat. You could argue, you could say the appointment, Rosinha makes a huge difference. I would say.
It does. Yeah, he knows the player. He's coached him before as well.
At Hull City, right?
Correct. He was his striker there, so he knows him very well. And this system benefits striker a little bit more as well because you got two guys in behind you closer. So yeah, it's different from the other system in that sense where the wingers are really far away from you. So then you've got the left mid, right mid, left wing back, right wing back overlapping as well. That can get some crosses in as well. And Rafinha does like to switch it up and get. Sometimes he'll play with two strikers, one attacking 10, and then two strikers. The mirror of two tens and one striker. So he does that as well. So I think next season, once Omega comes as well, I think you will see that in games as well. If another attacker comes in as well with Omega, you will see that in some games because that's definitely part of his philosophy, having that switch up to go to a two striker system as well. So it's only going to benefit him going forward because of the relationship already, and yeah, the system as well will help him as well.
I have a good feeling that Liam Rosinha, I think I've learned how to pronounce his last name correctly.
Rosin, you got to use Z.
Is it Z,
Rosin,
not S? Rosinha.
Z. Well, Z. I say
Yeah,
Z.
that's Rosinha.
Yeah, Rosinia. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yes, we do. Fundamentally blue. Chelsea everywhere. Okay, Jay. Let me. I'm posing this question to you. It reads: how do you guys evaluate Estevo's performance so far? I'd say excellent. Good numbers as well. For some reason, he didn't. He hasn't played in two. Did he play against Man City? He started right, but was taken off. But didn't
Yep.
play the
yeah.
next game. Somebody made a joke on X that he had to play the drums all day for his father's church and was a bit tired, nothing serious. That was a good one. But let's hear you, Jay, your thoughts given the question on the screen from one of the listeners in the chat.
I think he's been pretty good for a young guy from the Brazilian league, of his age, especially coming to the one of the toughest league in the
He's
world, Premier League.
fearless.
I think. Sorry.
He's fearless.
Yeah, he is fearless. His approach is good. He is gifted in a lot of elements of the game that many forwards would dream of. He's got that world-class potential with him, and we can see the glimpses of why people rate him so high as well. His numbers are pretty good as well. And again, anything that he's done right now is far more than what people might have expected. So he is good by numbers and also to the eye test when we see him doing his things on the pitch. I think he looked really good as well. He's helped the team a lot as well. I think obviously the dips in form that we've seen with him in some games, that is natural for a guy of his age. It will come with experience, and he's meant to have such periods where a few games will be good and there will be few spells where he would look out of touch. I think trusting uh, trusting kids of his age is very important. There needs to be some trust that needs to be placed on his shoulder as well. He needs to be played. I know people argue that it's important for someone to guide him properly, like not only play him, but I think on the opposite end, resting him and keeping him out of the game for a longer period of time is also not good for him. I think he needs more and more game time, and despite the poor performances, he needs to be touched, which I think is one of my slightly criticism about Chelsea, that they have not trusted him after some of the, I won't say poor game, but yeah, some of those games where he was not up to his levels. I think we've dropped him and not really played him for a while, which really does a lot of damage to uh, guys of his age. So we need to place a bit more confidence in him and maybe back him more, even after some of the ups and downs that he is obviously going to have. But I have full trust in his game, and he's going to be a world class player for us, one of the most important players around which we can build our journey.
Yeah, I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. On that Enzo Maresca, he was rotating quite a lot, and at one point, when you could say if you followed the rotation process closely, we expected him to start something game. At the time, he didn't start. Then we later learned that he was injured. He had a muscle injury issue. Dante, go ahead. Anything that you want to say so we can catch up with commentaries from the manager and players, then call it a day.
Yeah, look, I think Rafinha will play him. That's his type of player for the system. He likes those type of players in that 10 position. So, I mean, it could be a match made in heaven, him and Palmer in the 10, and having a striker up front, Delap, João Pedro, doesn't matter which one, depending on games. But those two in behind, those two creative players, they really need to form that connection. And I think those two can really do it. I think they like each other anyway, off the field as well and on the field. So we need to see that start developing, and yeah, definitely getting him some more game time in that position, especially because I think he'll shine in that position. The system, those players shine in Rossini's system. Those tens, striker as well normally, but those tens as well. The creative people in behind the striker. You'll have your overlapping guys, and then you have the striker up front as well, and the interplay between the two, and that triangle in the center as well. So yes, he should be able to shine in that system, in that 10 position. Let's see what happens. I always knew it's going to be difficult for him in December and January, especially the December period, where it's absolutely freezing in London. It's basically 0 degrees, almost snowing, and he's never experienced that. He's only played in the heat in Brazil. He's never been to Europe or experienced to play in that type of weather, cold. And we saw that when he came on and played 2 or 3 games in a row. He did have a couple of really poor games when he did come on, losing the ball, couldn't do absolutely nothing, getting pushed off the ball. He looked a shadow of himself. So, and then obviously the injury, so he couldn't continue playing for a bit. But yeah, I think it was part of that. He needs to get accustomed to the climate, to that, because it is a massive change. People don't realize that it is a very, very big change when you play in that heat, and then you come and you play and something like that. If you've never done it before, it's a huge change. So yeah, I think he needed some time to get accustomed to that, and he'll only get better with time. Obviously, he'll get accustomed to it.
Eventually, yeah, I agree.
As he gets warmer, he's going to get better and better.
Do
Yeah.
you,
All right.
do you guys see Palmer and Estevao playing together a lot this season? And
Yeah, I
how
think
is that
yeah.
going to really work?
I would
Do you
say
think he
yes.
can play from the left?
That stuff can play on
especially
either
in
flanks. Yeah.
especially European games. Yes, more European games, not as physical. Yes, I think they will play a lot together in the 2-10 positions. I think maybe in the Premier League, not as much, depending on opposition, but probably not as much against some of the medium team, mid-table lower teams where they're more physical, more maybe not as much. But yeah, I think in the European games and maybe some cup games, you'll see him play in that position quite a lot.
All
Yeah.
right, thank you for that. We'll be rounding off soon. Does our players not know the EPL rules? You cannot surround the ref and be shouting in his face. I think that happens in the heat of the happen in the heat of the moment, but that's something eventually, irrespective of how tense the situation is, they know how to control themselves better. Knowing the refs have historically not liked Chelsea FC, or maybe the players don't know any of the history. They might not know. I'm not sure. Esther was so talentos, okay, but I think he has to improve decision making, similar to Vinicius Junior's start, and his minutes are already satisfactory. But people in Brazil are crazy, and whenever he's benched, we don't know why he was benched. I think eventually he's going to become a regular starter. No denying how good he is. And one thing I like about the kid, I think he's a very humble kid. Um, doesn't, you can say, force it, always happy to get a chance. Eventually I think probably Andrea Santos will brief must by now, mm, yeah, would will must have already briefed him, like, yeah, this man is your guy, you're going to be playing a lot, so don't worry. But I don't think he'd be worried anyway. He's played good enough amount of minutes. He's a serious baller, no question. So Frank Lebon, that's shocking. He hardly ever says good stuff about Chelsea managers and Chelsea as a club, really, even though he was our player. He says Frank Lebon and Liam Rosinia, he is going to be a great coach for sure with what he does with young players. He did great at Strasbourg. I'm happy for him. So he knows we have young players. And something this guy said about young players is that, yeah, it can actually be a strength having a lot of young players, because you know why? They're fearless. I think he did say something to that
Yeah,
effect.
he's just flip flops a bit too much though.
Who flip flops him?
Yeah, LeBeouf, yeah.
Oh, you know, Labop flip flops a lot, but I'm saying, but one thing, something I said that Rosina said, that having a very young squad can actually be a positive. If you remember, weren't we
Yes.
saying that Pochettino should just give the kids freedom to express themselves? That they do a lot better if he does that.
Well, he did do that. They did express themselves, but we were conceding a lot of goals and losing a lot of games as well. Yes. Whereas Maresca came
He could
in.
have found a way, to just, you could say, conduit, maybe mask the deficiencies or deal with it, maybe.
Well, that's why I said when Maresca's gonna cut, he's perfect for this young team because he's gonna really micromanage them, show them everything, putting the big screen at training, going through everything over and over, repetition, repetition, and that gets into their head. And what happens? It did get into their head, and they much better defensively, way better record defensively, not even close. So it kept us in games. Yeah, we probably didn't score as many. We still created chances, just haven't scored as many, but it kept us in games and we were able to win a lot more and get results in a lot more because of it. So I think if that's what you meant, coach, but yeah, I don't think, because I think that's what Pochettino, he let him do what mostly they wanted. He let him, run,
But
run,
couldn't
run, and
balance it out. He just didn't balance it out.
he didn't balance it out, yes, but that's his style. That's his coaching style, and it
Yeah,
can
yeah.
work, can not
High
work.
transition.
Yeah, so that's why Maresca was perfect for the project. And I said from the start, I think he's perfect. Finally, we got a coach that will actually coach these guys and really show them, not just let them play. So that's why I think Maresca was so successful. Rafinha is very similar in that sense. He's very attentive at every little detail. Uh, but yes, he does like a bit more energy, not as much control as Maresca, which he will need to probably adjust a little bit, because otherwise he can go towards Pochettino a bit too much in that sort of style.
All right, Frank Levaux says Liam Vecino has all the tools to become one of the best coaches in the world. It is funny because he doesn't look like a coach. When you think he's talking sense, he says some absolute nonsense, and you realize, yeah, that's Frank Levaux talking.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a coach, but when he talks, he's like a philosopher. He's like a teacher. I love his calmness and his way of thinking about football. He is Fabrizio Romano. What's he really saying about Vinicius Jr. to Chelsea? I think it's not just some nonsense. And like some update, probably saying no, there's nothing to it. Have you guys seen where he talked about that?
I haven't been on X. I haven't seen anything.
I don't know why I didn't
He
watch
was
that
just
video.
he was just
Where is it?
clearing out it. I think it was going on in the news for last few days, and hence I think
So
he
he
found
just
it important
debunking
to
it.
clear it out. Yeah.
Vinicius just to Chelsea. Okay, with a question mark. So which means he explained it, and that's from the Zone Football. Actually, not him, but he's in the picture. He's in the picture there. So yeah, this guy here. Any other comments? It is too soon to say what will happen for sure this summer. But one possibility is Pendas staying at Chelsea as well as a scientist that could see the highly rated youngster initially serve as number two in the various cup competitions as he gets to grip with English football and yada yada. I'd just leave the kid one more season there. What do you guys think?
Yeah, 100%. Let him experience playing in Europe, getting, maybe winning Conference League if they can. They have a good chance of winning that competition, and that will make a massive difference to his confidence and just, experience as well. So 100% needs to stay.
So
Obviously, he's
this
going to
seems
stay.
that Jay, go ahead, Jay. Sorry.
Obviously, he's going to stay for the rest of the season. I think it's about the next season. I think there is a chance, and I
Yeah.
believe that he can actually fill that role of the second goalkeeper. I don't see the cup competitions being that hard where he will lack the required elements and quality. I think he can do a job, and he had that quality. And I think he can learn a lot from Sanchez as well. And being in that environment around Chelsea will also help him prepare as well. So I can see a world where he is our second goalkeeper in the coming season. Totally.
Mhm. I do want him to stay there coming season, honestly. Rosenius' arrival is not set to see Chelsea change their approach to the January transfer window. It is not expected to be a big month. The club will be alert to opportunities, but would rather wait for the summer to come. Here's the thing: Quenda joins, and Salamino is our defender.
Sa,
Sa also, who's
Omega,
one of Rosinia's main guy. I think we
Omega as
might,
well. Yeah.
yeah. So possibly you say I'm all for us taking our time to make sure we sign the right profile player of players in the summer. But it's a good thing that they be paying attention to in case any good opportunity you say they take it. But they're serious about this, not spending. Even they plan on spending, we don't know. So this year, Enzo Maresca privately believes his side of the story on exiting Chelsea will be heard by all. Although the 45-year-old is preferring to keep it to himself. Then shut up. If you're not want to say it, just shut up. Don't tell me nonsense. This is the same thing I said when they fired Tuchel. I was really pissed, and we're hearing Premier League money to say something to the effect of, if we're told what he did, we'd fire him too. I said, then shut up. Don't tell me. If you don't tell me he did anything wrong. You firing him was wrong. It's as simple as that. Until you tell me what he did, then it's left for me to decide whether I'd fire him if I were
Well,
you.
we kind of know what he did, coach. It's just we can't really say too much about it. There is clear
Who's
evidence.
Marescas?
No, Tuchel. What happened to Tuchel? There's clear evidence what happened to him. He
I
even went.
don't know.
He went for rehab to India after.
Okay, maybe that gives away something else.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
that gives away some. That might as well be part of it. But as long as he was performing, I wouldn't fire him. I would just tell him you can't do this.
That's
Esther
I
was
think that's
sorry.
aggressive
Very
nature. Let's remember he just got really crazy and aggressive at that time as well. That's what happens from that as well. So, and then he did go for the rehab to that center. That is a rehab center. He went there. It was a so.
Where in India? I need to go. I need a
Yeah.
rehab center as well in India. Please tell me,
But
guys.
he did really. Weren't you paying attention? They interviewed him too.
No, I know he did.
You know he
I
did,
know he
right?
did, bro.
Yeah.
But I need it too.
I'm saying, but yeah, but since they didn't tell me, I'm just gonna
And don't forget the divorce at the time as well.
Yeah, that also could be. That should alone must have been mentally draining for him.
Remember, we were joking at the time anyway. We were joking when we were saying he's going out now to party. He's going to have a good time. But
And
we were joking about
he's
that.
actually
But
still
apparently,
my favorite Chelsea manager.
yeah.
And Maresca was close to eclipsing him because I loved Maresca a lot. His approach, flexibility, and everything.
Yeah,
His
exactly.
innovative approaches, I must say.
Yeah, it kind of make me sad how the relationship between coach and Maresca broke. Kind of makes me sad.
Yeah, well, we'll see exactly when he does decide to talk about it. I mean, I don't think there's too much he can say. It's pretty clear and evident, most of it anyway. And I think he's got a lot of blame to it. So does the club, but I think he's got a lot of blame to it. There's not much he can say that's going to change it too much.
To be honest, I
Right,
don't really believe both the side. I think both the side will do heavy PR to just protect
Well,
themselves.
that's what I mean. That's what I mean, Jay. Basically, doesn't matter what they're gonna say because who knows?
Yeah, I agree. Anything else, guys, before we call it a day? You have any questions from any of you?
All good. No, I'm pretty good.
How about you, Jay?
Yeah, nothing.
Thomas
All right,
Frank
let me
drinking
just
the
read this
Arsenal
one more
tears.
thing. Sorry?
Thomas Frank drinking from the Arsenal cup. You got that on the screen.
Yeah. What was he thinking? Irrespective of how he happened, I don't think his
He
Tottenham
said
fans will be happy.
because Arsenal played the previous game there, they were in that dressing room, so they left those cups, and he just told his assistant go get a coffee, and he brought him one of those cups instead of the.
My God, Tottenham. My God, Tottenham. Everything related to Tottenham is a circus.
Yeah, it's not a big
But
deal. I knew it wasn't.
that's lack of awareness, really.
Yeah, he didn't even look. I mean, it is what it is.
It's crazy, because it's a big ass logo. How did he not see that?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
tiny little cup.
It's
It's an espresso shot little thing. So you don't really see it in your hand.
Man,
You're covering it
you
all
can
the
be
way.
a lawyer for everyone, man.
I
Look it up.
hope expression survives him.
It'll be a meme. It'll be funny. It'll be made. But yeah, I believe him 100%. There's no way he would. There's no reason to do that. Like, there's absolutely nothing behind it.
All right, people, thank you so much for finding the time to be part of the conversation. We've come to the natural end of this edition of the Blue Morning Show, and I want to say thank you to our senior panelist and Bobby for being part of the conversation. He was here, and Constantine Dunn, too, the captain of the community, and also Jay. Thank you for finding the time to be part of the conversation. Fundamentally Blue, much love to you. Thank you, Mabas05. Thank you for joining the conversation. And Pedro Granja, thank you for joining the conversation, my bro. I appreciate you. Who else was here? Shanks was Shanks here? No, Chimera was also here. Vic was here. Kopama, aka Namaya Fawale, was also here. Who else was here? And if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
Pick up.
Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly from Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag fly. we share, each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing, hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable, hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing, hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. Chelsea, the dream keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand, oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. From Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for keeps us strong. Through every challenge we rise, never wrong. With every goal we fly, hearts on fire. The passion unites us, takes us higher. Keep on singing, support never fades. Together we stand in this blue brigade. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. The blue flag flying high, fly from Stamford Bridge, the pride that we share. Each kickoff, each moment, it feels so rare. With faith in our hearts, we chase the dream. Through every match day, we're part of the team. The love for our club is a powerful thing. Together we shout, let the victory ring. Tonight is our night. For Chelsea we stand. Oh yeah. Blue flag flying high, fly high. We're unstoppable. Hear the roar. In blue we trust forevermore. Together we sing hand in hand. For Chelsea forever we'll stand.